Good morning, afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are bringing you the Chiba Lotte Marines hosting the Orix Buffaloes in the final game of their three-game set. This game is going to go off at the Zozo Marine Stadium. It is a battle of the top teams in the Pacific League, and it is the second of only two games that go off tonight in the Pacific League. And so first of all, we're going to give you the starting lineups. That will be from the visitors from Osaka, the Orix Buffaloes. Leading off and playing in right field is number 61, Tokumasa Chano. Batting second at second base is number 53, Sho Gibbo. Batting third and playing in center field is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. The cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 4, Tomoya Mori. Batting fifth and playing first base is number 44, Yuma Tongu. Batting sixth at third base is number 8, Marwin Gonzalez. And the seventh spot and playing shortstop is number 24, Kotaro Kobayashi. Batting eighth and in left field is number 50, Yuya Oda. Batting ninth and doing the catching is number 37, Ryo Ishikawa. They are going to be facing Atsuya Hirohata, who takes to the mound with no record. He's worked 4 2/3 innings. He's allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, all of which have been earned. He has also walked 1, and we don't have his strikeout total. He's got an ERA of 3.86. On the flip side of the coin, we have the Chiba Lotte Marines. They are the home team for this one. We have their batting order. Leading off and in right field is number 13, Taiga Hirasawa. Batting second and playing shortstop is number 4, Yudai Fujioka. Hitting third and playing second base is number 8, Shogo Nakamura. The cleanup spot and playing first base is number 67, Kenta Chitani. Batting fifth and playing third base is number 5, Hisanori Yasuda. The sixth spot and doing the designated hitting is number 22, Gregory Polanco. Batting seventh and in left field is number 3, Kitsuya Kakanaka. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 27, Tatsuhiro Tamura. And batting ninth in center field is number 25, Hiromi Oka. And they are going to be facing Tsuchiya Yamazaki, who takes to the hill for the Buffaloes. He's got a 1-1 record. He's worked 20 innings. He's allowed 18 hits, 10 runs. All have been earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 14, and he's got an ERA of 4.50. Well, that's your starting lineups. Our friend Walking Spotted Bear made it in earlier. He says, can't make these 5 a.m. Easterns, brother. It's pretty tough for those folks on the East Coast unless you're getting up early in the morning. And Spaceman V pops in and he wants the Buffaloes. We welcome you to the stream, whether you'll listen live or on delay. We are going to be back and doing some more games this week, as we will return again tomorrow night. And hopefully you can make it in here with us, whether you do listen live or on delay. As tomorrow we will bring you the next 2 nights. It'll be the Fighters and the Buffaloes. That will go at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. Then for the Sunday ball game, which is Saturday in North America, it'll be the Lions and the Hawks. So here we go. Here comes the first pitch of the ball game as Chano steps in. The first pitch is a fastball delivered by Hirohata that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Chano batting 286 in the early going with no homers and 9 RBIs. It is a windy afternoon in Chiba. The pitcher's jersey is blowing around like crazy. And there is a fastball that misses inside for a ball. And the count is 1-0. Wind is blowing, it looks like, in from left center field. It'll be a tough field in which to have to swing tonight. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. And you can see as he picks up the rosin bag, Hirohata, the rosin is just blowing all over the place. It is going to be one of those nights in Chiba. Here comes the 2-1. The pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back on the edge of the warning track, but he's got room to make the catch is Kakanaka. That is going to retire Chano for the first out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away. That is going to bring up the second baseman, Sho Gibbo. Well, for Gibbo on the season, he's hitting .409. He's got no homers and 3 RBIs, off to a good start in limited play. Defensively tonight for the Marines in the outfield from left to right, it's Kakanaka in left. The center fielder is Oka, and in right field it is Hirasawa, as the first pitch delivered to Gibbo is a breaking ball that misses outside for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the right-hander works to the set and now delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside for 2-0. Around the horn for the Marines from first to third, it's Chitani at first. At second is Nakamura. The shortstop is Fujioka, and Yasuda is at third. The battery of Hirohata and Tamura. As the 2-0 is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to Shogibo. Gibbo, as we said, hitting .409 on the early going this year with those no homers and 3 RBIs, hitting from the left side. The pitch is on the way. It is swung on and missed, and now that runs the count even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gibbo to be followed by Nakagawa here for the Buffaloes in their half of the first inning. So here comes the 2-2. It is a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Gibbo watched that one go by. I think he wants that one back as he just turns and walks away. He knew that it was strike 3. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to bring up the center fielder, Kai Nakagawa. Well, for Nakagawa, he's hitting .272 in the early going. He's got 4 homers and 14 RBIs. As the right-hander Hirohata leans in and gets the sign from his catcher Tamura, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Nakagawa batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Hirohata, who's working very quickly here with nobody on, and the pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside. The count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Both of these ball clubs, as we said, perched atop of the Pacific League as the 1-1 is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and lifted foul over the dugout at first base. That runs the count now to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marines are in the driver's seat as there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to be cut off by Oka. Rounding first and then retreating is the batter runner Nakagawa. That's going to be a 2-out single as he is aboard, and that'll bring up the DH Tomoya Mori. I began by saying that the Marines are perched the top of the Pacific League. They're tied in terms of games behind, but they've had 2 less games than what the Buffaloes have played. The Marines are 20-14-2. The Buffaloes are 21-15-2. Only 0.005 percentage points separate these clubs. The edge on the offense goes to the Buffaloes. The edge on the mound seems to go to the Marines here in the early going. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field, but it's just going to hook foul. Or he was able to get the bat head around on that one, but he drives it foul down the baseline or down the line in right field. The ball then skipped up into the netting as he hooked around it. So 1 strike to Mori. Mori batting .306 with 5 homers and 16 RBIs so far, and the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count goes even to 1-1. That last pitch was at 95 miles an hour from Hirohata. The Buffaloes have flexed their muscle this year with power. They have 31 homers. That's the most in the Pacific. As Hirohata kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2. But it is certainly not the most in the NPB. The Yomiuri Giants have that distinction with 42. And the Bay Stars and the Swallows check in next before the leaders in the Pacific show up. Batting average-wise, as we mentioned, .267 average as a team for the Buffaloes. That is also number 1 in the Pacific League. They've not skipped a beat with the loss of Masataka Yoshida, as the pitcher Hirohata throws over to first base and diving back in time as the base runner Nakagawa. Our friend Tony is in the house tonight. Welcome. We hope you're doing well. Here comes the 1-2. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And Mori goes down on strikes for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the first inning. And our friend Mick is also in the house for some late-night baseball. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are through a half inning. It is the Buffaloes no score and the Marines coming to bat. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the first inning when we return right after this. We appreciate everybody for jumping in here with us tonight. NPB Baseball, it is the Buffaloes and the Marines. We'll be back in about 60 seconds with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the Marines coming to bat in their half of the first inning, and it is going to be Hirasawa, Fujioka, and Nakamura to get things going against the lefty Tsuchiya Yamazaki. Yamazaki, as we mentioned, has a 1-1 record. He's worked 20 innings already this year. He has pitched okay. He's got an ERA of 4.50. So he is going to get things going here, facing the left-handed hitting Hirasawa. Hirasawa batting $188 on the year with a homer and 5 RBIs. As the lefty kicks and delivers, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. We were talking about the two ball clubs here battling it out for first place in the Pacific League, as the lefty delivers a fastball that misses down, and the count now runs to 2-0. Buffaloes are going to be hosting the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. That begins tomorrow night. We will have all the action at that point. As there's a fastball that just misses down. It's 3 balls and no strikes now. The catcher for the Buffaloes, Ishikawa, I don't think he necessarily liked that call. The way that he received it and held it there for the umpire, I think he thought that was a strike. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. There's a fastball that just catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 3-1. Sometimes the nonverbal communication is just as important as the verbal communication, or maybe even more so. Sending messages to the men in black, or normally the men in blue. There's a fastball that misses, and that's going to be ball 4, as Hirasawa has drawn himself a leadoff walk. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Yudai Fujioka. For the pitcher, Yamazaki, he has had some pretty good control. Only 3 walks in 20 innings entering tonight's affair. It has not been his mantra as walking batters. So Fujioka comes to the plate. He's hitting .274. He's got no homers and 5 RBIs. He's cooled off from his hot start. He got off to a fantastic start to begin the year. So Yamazaki ready to go back to work. He leans in, he gets the sign from his catcher, and he works to the set position. And now he does this little flick over to first base. Easily diving back in a time is Hirasawa. So the runner at first, Hirasawa. And there is nobody gone here for the Marines. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Yudai Fujioka. If this was 2022, I would say Fujioka might be a candidate to bunt here. Be able to move him over and then to try to bang them home, get the momentum. But in light of the fact that he's been swinging the bat well, they may not be taking it out of his hands. Here comes the 1-0, and the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Count is 1-1. All the other games in the NPB are underway. There were only 5 games on the slate tonight. One is an early final. That final, of course, is from Escon Field in Hokkaido as the Fighters knocked off the Lions 6-2. That would have been the game I would have preferred to call. It was an earlier start, but had some other things that were in the way and couldn't get back in time. There's a fastball that swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. Moving back on it is the shortstop Kirby, and the wind is playing havoc with him. He went back kind of on an angle, and then it took him right on a hard turn right toward the third baseline. He is able to haul that in as Fujioka is gone for the first out of the inning. So keep an eye on the havoc the wind will play tonight, or at least in the early going, because it is blowing like crazy. That's going to bring up Shogo Nakamura to the plate. Nakamura, he's batting 197. He's got a couple homers and 12 RBIs. He got off to an absolutely abysmal start to the 2023 season, but he has started to swing the bat much better lately. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nakamura. Nakamura, a captain, getting the nod at second base here tonight. The Marines are in their traditional white uniforms with the black pinstripes. The Buffaloes are in their dark tops with the white pants. As here comes the 0-1 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes now to 0-2 on Nakamura. So no balls and 2 strikes. Do have to keep our eyes on the play here. As we said, the wind that is wreaking havoc all the way around may impact something here. We saw a couple of plays, I think it was last year, when the Marines had it pop up behind second base. There was a fastball swung on, and it's hit foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 0-2. I believe they were playing the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, and it was Leonis Martin who was on third. And it was a pop-up to the second baseman. I don't think it was Asamura playing that night for the Golden Eagles, but the ball was caught just in the shallow right center field. The second baseman had fell while he caught it. Martin had tagged and scored all the way. It was got to be one of the shallowest sacrifice flies we'd ever seen. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball is hit foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura as the lefty Yamazaki leans in and gets the sign from his catcher Ishikawa. And here comes the 0-2. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined into left field. It's going to be down for a base hit. Nakamura is aboard. That's going to advance Hirasawa over to second. That puts runners at first and second, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Kenta Chitani. So the Marines are flapping their wings right now. Or at least they've got their motors going. And that is going to bring Chitani to the plate, who's hitting .377. He's one of the hotter hitters in the Marines batting order. So he comes to bat here with 2 ducks on the pond. So he steps up to the plate, waiting here on the offering from Yamazaki, who holds to the set. And now delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Kenta Chitani. Despite the solid batting average, it's not a lot of production in terms of runs batted in or even any extra base juice. He does have no homers and 5 RBIs, does Chitani. He's yet to open up his long ball account. Here comes the 0-1 offering. Yamazaki delivers. It's a slow breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Coming in and making the catch is Nakagawa, tagging at second, but holding there is going to be Hirasawa. That's going to be out number 2. So Chitani gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the third baseman, Hisanori Yasuda. Well, for Yasuda on the season, he's batting .274. He's got a couple of homers and 8 runs batted in. He has had himself a decent start to the campaign as well, the left-handed hitting third baseman tonight. So the Marines have a 2 on and 2 out as the lefty gets his sign from Ishikawa. And he works to the set position. Checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is now 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Yasuda. Yamazaki rubs up the baseball as he's got the rosin bag going on in full effect. As we said, the wind is blowing pretty good here in Chiba. As the lefty works to the set position. Checks the runner again and now delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count now goes to 0-2. By the looks of it, both of these pitchers work at a decent pace in the windup. As soon as the runners start to get on base, they start to slow down. They're not the quickest workers in that situation. Yamazaki specifically does a toll back behind the mound. He picks up the rosin bag. He spreads the dust. Pretty lively crowd in attendance tonight in Chiba, as they normally do. I don't think it's a full house by any stretch. As the 0-2 is ready to get on its way here to Nakamura. As Yamazaki holds, and now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. It was down in the dirt. Nice block there by Ishikawa. He throws to first. That's going to retire Yasuda on a strikeout 2-3 for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Marines in their half of the first. There was no runs. There was a hit. No errors and 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 1 complete. It is the Buffaloes nothing and the Marines nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. Here is our good friend, Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Coming to bat for the Buffaloes in their top of the second inning, it'll be Yuma Tongu, Marwin Gonzalez, and Kentaro Kobayashi. Is going to be 5, 6, and 7 in the batting order. So for Tongu, he's batting at .323. He's got a homer and 10 RBIs. He is settling in as the first baseman on a pretty much a regular basis. As he steps up to the plate here, ready to face the first offering from Hirohata, but there is time called. As the batter, Tongu, not quite ready to get set yet. Tongu, interesting batting stance. He's got his right foot up on the chalk. The other foot is open. The pitch comes in. It is a fastball that comes inside and gets away from the catcher, and the pitcher is giving a couple of little nods to the home plate umpire and to the hitter, as if to say, didn't mean to happen. There's 1 ball and no strikes. 17 pitches for Hirohata in his first inning of work, and he drops in a breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 1-1. His first start of the 2023 campaign. All of his other work had come in relief to this point. As the pitch is a slow breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Tongu. Curious to see what the leash is for this starter here tonight, or if they've built him up sufficiently that they can trust him beyond maybe 6 innings. Or if his pitch counts between 80 and 100, I guess we're going to find out tonight. As he was 18, as we said, in the first inning. And here comes the offering. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Tongu. We called the game the other night between the Carp and the Bay Stars, and it was a real slogfest. We had to battle through that 7-0 lead early on for the Carp. There's a fussball swung on it, is lifted foul into the seats behind first base, the first base dugout, and that's going to keep the count at 2-2. And of course, the Bay Stars battled back with 5 runs, make it 7-5, and to make it interesting. But that was a tough night for us. We had to endure lack of sleep. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. That's going to run the count to 3-2 on Tagu. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Hirohata gets the sign from his catcher, and he's ready to get back to work. Now he kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted down the right field line. Giving chase is the first baseman and also the right fielder. So Chitani and Hirasawa were getting close to one another, but the ball ended up drifting into the seats. That's going to keep the count at 3-2 to Tagu. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. As the right-hander now works to the set. Hirohata kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's fouled right back. It's going to be pitch number 8 of the at-bat coming up here to Tagu. Right-hander ready to go back to work again. If this game ended up getting out of control tonight, we would have to consider packing it in early. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle, fielded neatly by the shortstop Fujioka, who throws to first. That is going to retire Tagu on a ground out 6-3. So 1 gone here, and that's going to bring up Marwin Gonzalez. Our friend Mick says he's got Orix, Hanshin, and Yamuri on his parlay. I have to do my due diligence on that. I would probably lean toward the Buffaloes here in this one just because of the pitching. At least the initial matchup. As Marwin Gonzalez steps to the plate, he's hitting .234 on the season with 7 homers and 14 RBIs. He takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. As we mentioned before, I don't believe that this is going to be a full house tonight. I'd be shocked if there was much more than 18,000 in Chiba. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And now the count goes to 0-2 on Gonzalez. It'll be followed by Kitaro Kobayashi here in the second inning. Back to mixed parlay there for a minute. When we look at the other games that are around the NPB, so he took the Tigers. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-2. Tigers are playing the Dragons tonight. It is Masashi Ito, who is 1-0 on the mound against Yuya Yanagi. Yanagi is not off to a good start in terms of win-loss record. He's pitched well enough to win in a couple of his games. As the 1-2 is ready to come on its way, and there's a fastball that is swung on and missed. Gonzalez is down on strikes. He's out for out number 2. That's the third punch out, or the third strikeout here by the right-hander Hirohata. So 2 gone. That's going to leave it up to Kitaro Kobayashi. And for Kobayashi, well, he's hitting .259. He's got a homer and 9 runs batted in. Right-hander against the right-hander, and Hirohata kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Kobayashi to be followed by Oda should he get on safely. Here comes the 1-0. Right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Now the count goes even to 1-1. Other games that are around the NPB, the Giants are playing against the Swallows. It is Yokogawa for the Giants and Cy Sneed for the Swallows. That battle of Tokyo as the 1-1 is on the way. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. Carp and the Bay Stars are going at it for their third and final game of their set. It is Cornel against Azuma. Here comes the 1-2 offering as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. As we mentioned earlier tonight, the Fighters knocked off the Lions 6-2. Game was at Escon Field in Hokkaido. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's lifted to right field, moving over and still moving over, but finally making the catch is the right fielder Hirasawa, and that will do it here for the Buffaloes and their half of the second inning. Well, there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Down in order go the Buffaloes. Now moving to the bottom of the second inning, your score is the Marines 0 and the Buffaloes 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the second inning, and it'll be Gregory Polanco, Katsuya Kakanaka, and Tatsuhiro Tamura to come to bat, facing the lefty Sachiya Yamazaki. They stranded a couple of runners, did the Marines, in their half of the first inning. It was the leadoff walk to Hirasawa, and then the one-out single to Shogo Nakamura had runners at first and second. That is where it had ended. So here comes the first offering to Gregory Polanco. It's a breaking ball that just misses inside for ball one. The count is 1-0. Polanco struggling since his move to Chiba from the Giants. He's hitting a .167 with 3 homers and 10 RBIs. There's a breaking ball that is a windmill type style, and it's going to drop in for a called strike. That ball there had a lots of break to it. So 1 ball and 1 strike, and the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on. This is grounded into deep second, fielded by Nakamura. He's going to throw to first, and Polanco is going to be retired on a ground out 4-3. So 1 Marine up and 1 Marine away, and that's going to bring up the left fielder Katsuya Kakanaka. Well, for Kakanaka on the season, he's hitting .171. He's got no homers and 2 runs batted in. Curious to see what happens here. The bottom third of the Marine batting order is not very strong. Not too many batting averages. In fact, the bottom 4 batters in the Marine batting order all struggling to hit 200. Only Hiromi Oka in the 9th spot, batting .218. That first pitch from the lefty Yamazaki, I don't even know if it registered on the gun, was up for a ball for 1 ball and no strikes. And now he delivers a fastball, and it's run even to 1-1 to Kakanaka. Our friend Mick said the Hanshin Tigers are up 3-0. We'll get all the out-of-town scoreboard caught up in a couple innings' time. As the 1-1 is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Regardless, it is an decent night for baseball. Very windy. If the wind settles down, it could be a perfect night. There's the fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2 on Kakanaka. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The lefty Yamazaki delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to the right side. Fielded by the first baseman Tagu, who throws it to the pitcher covering. And that is going to retire Kakanaka on a ground out 1-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Tatsuhiro Tamura. Our friend Mick says tonight that 115 people tallied his parlay bet. We just need to get some of those 115 people in the stream, I would think, Mick. Can make it a whole lot more entertaining. Well, Tamura steps to the plate. He's batting 136 with no homers and 4 RBIs. And the first pitch is a very slow breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball one. The count is 1-0. 92 kilometers on the gun, which would put that to approximately 55 miles an hour. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count now goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Tamura. Hopefully I can stay sharp for everybody tonight. As we said, it's one of those nights in the midweek as the fastball is taken for a called strike. The count is 2-1. Our friend Spaceman V says, hopefully it hits. And good luck. And absolutely, always pull for those who listen to us. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-1. Going to do the Buffaloes and the Fighters over the next 2 nights. All I can wish for is that the Fighters are not going to don those uniforms that they wore at home this past week. The collars on those jerseys are something special. I'm sure they needed Chris Sale in that locker room. As that fastball misses down and in, and it's going to be ball 4 to Tamura. So he is aboard with a 2-out walk. Mick says he's got the KBO in his parlay too, and the Tigers are now up 4-0. Well, up steps Hiromi Oka here with 2 out. Oka is the last hitter to come to bat in the batting order for the Marines. He is batting .218 with the homer and 5 RBIs as the lefty Yamazaki holds to the set. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Our friend Mick points out that the Hanshin Tigers have a 4-0 lead right now, as we'll try to get caught up on the out-of-town scoreboard. By the looks of it, other than the final score from that game in Hokkaido, it is a 4-0 lead for sure for the Tigers. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. So a base hit here by Oka. That's going to put runners at first and second as Tamura advances, and he's going to have to stay there. So runners at first and second. I'll bring up the top of the order in Taiga Hirasawa. Just taking a look at that Tigers ball game, or maybe to see how they have gotten their runs. Doesn't look like there were any home runs. Everything was manufactured. 3 in the first and 1 in the second so far. So the top of the order in Taiga Hirasawa coming to bat here. He walked his first time up and he was stranded at second base. Bats here with runners at first and second and 2 away as the lefty Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher, but now he's going to be having to step off. So battle here between the 2 first-place clubs, as we said before. And here comes the first offering to the lefty Hirasawa. It's a breaking ball that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Hirasawa walked his first time up, and we said he was stranded at second. All the trouble here has started with 2 out, as Yamazaki was able to get the first 2 hitters to ground out. That is a bit of a problem, that's for sure. So 1 ball and no strikes as the lefty comes to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a slow breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. Curious to see what the forecast has here in this ball game. We looked earlier on and thought it was fairly decent, but it is overcast and it is windy, as these 2 clubs may have to battle some of the elements. We look at the updated stuff. They said it was going to be sun turning to cloud. I don't know if I've seen any sun yet. Here's the 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into shallow right center field. Over underneath it is Nakamura, and he's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it. As that will retire the Marines here for their half of the inning. Well, there was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 2 complete innings. It is the Buffaloes no score and the Marines no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We may have a change coming up here as the manager of the Marines is out to talk to the home plate umpire. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve here when we return. Appreciate you guys for being here with us. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Just a quick note here. We do have a pitching change coming up for the Marines here. We'll get you that in just a moment. It is a 1-0 score line, and now for the Bay Stars over the Carp. That is in the bottom of the second inning. So we have a new right-hander coming into the ball game for the Marines. It's going to be Iwashita, as he's going to be taking over here for the starter, Hirahata. So it looks like a pitching parade and a bullpen day on a Thursday is how it's going to work here. So Iwashita coming in to pitch. The right-hander is in his 6th year with the Marines. He's worked 5 ball games. He's worked 5 innings. He has not allowed a run or a hit. He's also not walked anyone, but he does have 3 strikeouts to his name. So Daiki Iwashita in relief, or on in relief, after 2 innings there by Hirahata. So it looks like it is a bullpen day here for the Marines today. So the right-hander has completed his warm-up tosses, and it's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Oda, Ishikawa, and Chano coming up here face the right-hander. Friend Mick says it jumped to 4-0 Bay Stars. Ooh. So even more runs being poured on there. Here comes the first offering. It's a fastball that just misses outside to Yuya Oda. So 1-0. Or 1 ball and no strikes. So interesting. 4-0 now for the Bay Stars. We'll have to go back and have a peek. So here comes the 1-0 as it is on the way. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-1 on Oda. As I said, tonight we're going to try to get through these games. One of the problems, or at least one of the challenges for me, is to be able to get some sleep in here, to be able to do it. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to first. Fielded neatly by the first baseman. That's Chitani, and he steps on the bag himself. That's going to retire Oda on a ground out 6-3. Or check that, ground out 2-3. As we said, we're going to watch ourselves to try to be sharp here tonight. So 1 gone, and it's going to bring up the catcher, Ryo Ishikawa. Ishikawa doesn't have a batting average or a slash line to speak of. The former Hokkaido Nippon Ham fighter getting the start behind the plate here tonight for the Buffaloes as the first pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Spent the better part of the first 8 years of his career all with the Fighters. Never played more than 60 ball games. Here comes the 1-0. It is a fastball that just misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. getting an opportunity now here with the Buffaloes. Career 190 batting average. So not exactly the most potent batter. Hit 156 last year for the Fighters. Has never hit a home run. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and it's taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. And here's the offering from the right-hander Iwashita, and that's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and that's going to run the count now to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Do appreciate everybody who does jump in and listen in, whether you listen live or on the delay. Thank you guys for jumping in on the channel. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into right center field. Racing over is the center fielder, Oka. He's going to put that one away. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is going to leave up to the top of the order in Takamasa Chano. Well, for Chano tonight, he is 0 for 1. He flew out to left field his first time up. His average has dropped to 284 on the year with no homers and 9 runs batted in. He can run a little bit as he's got 5 stolen bases to his name. So here comes the first offering from the right-hander Iwashita. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Chano. One of the priorities for us is we're going to have to make sure we get the coffee pot going and be able to take back some of that. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Count now goes even to 1-1 on Iwashita. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander gets his sign, and now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field. Coming hard on it is the left fielder who's going to be there and make the catch. So Kakanaka is going to haul it in for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. You're now through 2.5. It is the Marines no score and the Buffaloes no score. Hang on, we'll be right back in just a few. As Iwashita is giving the applause to his teammates as they get off the field. We'll be right back after this. Maybe after that.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and the Marines are sending up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the batting order. It's going to be Yudai Fujioka, Shogo Nakamura, and Kenta Chitani as they will come to bat here. Yudai Fujioka, 0 for 1 tonight. He popped to the shortstop his first time up. Our friend Mick says the Swallows have jumped up to a 1-0 lead on the Giants. I said, I don't have the live ticker. I got to bounce back and forth every once in a while to pick that up. Fujioka's averages dropped to 270 on the season as he takes a first pitch fastball outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. No homers and 5 runs batted in for the left-handed hitting shortstop. He is a slick fielder, that's for sure. He was splitting some duties last year with Edney Hechavarria as there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-1. But mind you, his batting average last year was not exactly the best, as he did struggle at the plate. But Fujioka off to a strong start this year, and he's been holding his own. There's a fastball that misses, and the count now goes to 2-1. As we said last year, he hit a .176, but he wasn't necessarily playing regular, having to share duties with Hechavarria. Here's the 2-1. It's a slow breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-1. He was pretty much the regular shortstop for the Marines for much of his first 4 years with the club. Last year, he was held only to 28 games. He's a lifetime .241 hitter. And one would have to think that Fujioka, who turns 30 in August, there's a fastball that misses up and in, and that's going to be ball 4. Fujioka is going to get himself a leadoff walk here to start the third inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. Just thinking about Fujioka as he's going to be turning 30 in August, as the best baseball defensively been left behind him. He was pretty good defensively last year. Other scores on the out-of-town board, the Giants now have a 4-0 lead over the Dragons. As we said, the Bay Stars are up 4-0 on the Carp and 1-0 for the Swallows over the Giants. That's in the bottom of the third inning. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1 here to Nakamura. To keep our eye on Fujioka. He can run a little bit. He's got 2 stolen bases on the year. As here comes the 0-1 pitch to Nakamura. Instead, they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Fujioka. So the lefty, Nakamura, ready to go again as the lefty, Yamazaki, ready to go. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, and it's fouled straight back. The count now goes to 0-2 on Nakamura. Nakamura had a single his first time up, but he was stranded at first. That was also back in the first inning. So the crowd is really bouncing up and down, cheering their team on here. Here comes the 0-2 offering. The pitch on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses down. A good stop there by Ishikawa to keep it in front. Run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the lefty Yamazaki ready to go again. He gets the sign from Ishikawa as he ready to work in the set position. Pitch number 45 of the ball game coming up for him right now. And now's the pitch. It's a slow breaking ball that comes up at 91 miles an hour. That misses way outside. So in my books, 91 is about 54 miles an hour, or 91 kilometers is 54 miles an hour. Ball almost had frost on it. So here comes the 2-2. As the lefty holds set, but instead he throws over to first, and getting back in time is the base runner, Fujioka. With runs projected to be at a premium in this game, a little wonder why they wouldn't maybe start playing a little small ball, both of these teams. Nakamura, they don't necessarily like to bunt him in the 3 spot, but he can get the job done. Pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that's waved at and missed. So nothing accomplished there. No runner advancing. Nakamura gone for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Kenta Chitani. Well, for Chitani tonight, he is 0 for 1. He flew out to center field his first time up. Did have a nice defensive play a couple innings ago. So here comes the first pitch as Yamazaki holds to the set position. And here comes the first offering. It's a breaking ball that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Kenta Chitani. As we said in his first at bat, he really doesn't have any extra base pop or some serious pop in terms of power on that side. He's got no home runs so far. As the lefty holds to the set position, and now instead he throws over to first, and getting back in time is the base runner Fujioka. Curious to know when they may consider putting him in motion. So here comes the 1-0 offering as the lefty holds set and now delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes it is. Appreciate everybody who has popped in here tonight. As we said before, whether you listen live or on delay, we do like having folks pop into the stream. So here comes the 2-0 pitch. As the righty Chitani is waggling the bat. 1 gone here. The runner Fujioka at first. And the 2-0 is on the way. It's a fastball swung on it. Is chopped over on the third base side. They're going to let it spin, and they're going to let it just roll foul. Oh, boy. They had enough English on it that it was able to squeak its way over the foul line. That's going to run the count to 2-1 on Chitani. Yamazaki came off the mound. It looked like he came off the mound slowly. And then when he went to field it, you could see that he was wanting to spin. He was willing it to roll foul. As soon as it rolled foul, he picked up the ball. And now we're going to do this all over again. So the lefty Yamazaki now getting his sign from his catcher Ishikawa. And he works to the set position. Here comes the 2-1 to Chitani. Checks the runner and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. So this could wreak some havoc at some point tonight for one of these 2 ball clubs. So here comes the 3-1 as the lefty holds set. And now delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and it's going to be lined down the right field line, but it's going to reach the seats. That runs the count full now to Chitani. Chitani to be followed by Hisanori Yasuda here in the 3rd inning. We are in the bottom half of the 3rd as we have to update our ticker. Sometimes when we take a minute break in between the innings, ticker continues to run, but we haven't flipped it over. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that swung on and fouled away down the right field line. The count remains at 3-2 on Chitani. Bottom half of the 3rd inning here. Hisanori Yasuda waits his turn on deck. So here comes the 3-2 as the lefty holds to the set. Yamazaki ready to deliver, and it is a fastball swung on and missed. There goes the runner down to second, and the throw is not going to be in time. Chitani's down on strikes for the second out of the inning. Fujioka, it was a bit of a double pump from the catcher Ishikawa. I don't know if he got a firm grip on the ball. We'll get the replay here as it was a strike, and the next thing you know, it looked like he was having difficulty with the exchange. And then as soon as he exchanged it, he was up in the power position. And then he had to get rid of it and get it down to second base, but sliding in safely was Fujioka. That's going to put a runner at second now with 1-2 gone. That'll bring up Hisanori Yasuda. And for Yasuda tonight, he's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. So 3 strikeouts so far here in the ballgame for Yamazaki as he holds to the set. Now delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It has popped up over on the third base side. And now having to give chase and coming a long way. And that ball is going to drop in. Oh, boy. Marwin Gonzalez started over underneath it, and then he took him for a long run. And then as he ran, he basically overran the ball as the ball was blown back. So it's going to go down as a foul ball. I don't think we're going to get an error on it, but we'll see what the official scores have to say. And sometimes those are the type of things that can come back to haunt you. If they would have caught that ball, then obviously that ends any type of rally. But you got the left-handed stick here of Yasuda trying to drive in the first run of the ball game. And here comes the offering from the lefty Yamazaki, who checks the runner. Now delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 1-0 to Yasuda. Feels like Yasuda came to the plate yesterday, and that was only the first pitch that he's seen. Our friend Troll Azadi in the house. We appreciate you for popping in, Troll. Glad you could make it here tonight. We were wanting to call the early game, but unfortunately that just didn't work out. But we will be back on the airwave again for the Buffaloes tomorrow night. There's a fastball swung on it. Is grounded to the right side. Nice play by the second baseman, Gibbo, who picks it up and throws to first. It's not in time. They have to throw to the plate as the runner is being wheeled around third, and it looks like Yudai Fujioka is going to get the first run of the ball game. Oh boy, that was really, really interesting. So it was a ground ball into the 4-hole, and the second baseman, Gibbo, had slid as he was diving to his left. He got up and he threw to first, and the throw was not in time to retire Yasuda. That's going to be an infield single, one would anticipate. Unable to hang on was Yuma, and then he picked it up and had the wherewithal to fire home. They weren't able to get the runner at the plate because the catcher, Ishikawa, I don't know if I like the way where he set up. Like he was well in front of the plate. I had to reach back and try to apply the tag, but that is 1-0 now for the Marines. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner. And that count now goes to 0-1 on Gregory Polanco. Polanco tonight 0 for 1. He grounded out to second his first time up. Our friend Troll Zaddy says, I lost money on the game. He says, Tigers and Bay Stars might have been the call. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. Is grounded over to the right side of the infield. Fielded by Gibbo, who throws to first. And that is going to do it. That's going to go down as a ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning. That is going to do it here. I'm not sure if they're going to give Yasuda an RBI on that one, but there was a run in the inning for the Marines on the benefit of one hit. There were no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. We are now through 3 complete innings. Your score is the Marines 1, the Buffaloes 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the top half of the fourth inning, and we're going to have yet another pitching change here for the Marines as the pitching parade is going to continue. It is going to be Azuma taking over on the mound. We'll be back in 30 with all the specs after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the right-hander Yasuki Azuma coming in relief. He is going to be the third pitcher used tonight by the Marines. So Azuma is in, and Iwashita is out. The Mercedes-Benz that they drive the pitchers in from the bullpen is going to be in high demand, one would think, today, as it looks like they're going to get a lot of mileage, as it is looking like a bullpen day here for the Chiba Lotte Marines. So leading off, it'll be Shogibo, Kai Nakagawa, and Tomoya Mori, as they have sent one batter above the minimum to the plate so far in this one, have the Buffaloes. So the left-handed hitting Gibbo waiting here on the offering from the right-handed throwing Azuma. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on it, is lifted over on the third base side, but the wind is going to blow that into the seats, and the count is going to be 0-1 to Gibbo. As we said, the pitching parade for the Marines is going to continue in this. I'm curious to see if they're going to have somebody roll a couple innings at some point. But we are locked at zeros with these two teams. 0-1-0 for the Buffaloes, 0-2-1 for the Marines. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. And the pitch is on the way from Azuma. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner. And the count now goes to 1-2 on Gibbo. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander gets his sign, and he's ready to go back at it again. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is grounded into the 6 hole. Nice play on the backhand by Fujioka. He throws it, but it's going to get by the first baseman, but luckily no damage there. I would think that's going to be ruled as a hit. We're going to get a chance to look at the replay. I think even if Fujioka comes up to the play and makes a proper throw, I don't know if they're going to be able to get it. Well, maybe not. Maybe Gibbo might have been had by a half step. First baseman had reached to try to knock it down, but wasn't able to do that. That, of course, was Kenta Chitani. So we'll see what they decide on the scoring in just a moment. As Chitani steps up to the plate, it is Nakagawa who steps up to the plate. Talking about Chitani as the ball got by him at first base. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Maybe it's time to start thinking about energy drinks rather than coffee and tea. So 1 ball and no strikes here to Nakagawa. Right-hander Azuma works to the set and now delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Haven't seen the update yet on the scoring decision. We'll get the official ruling in just a moment on that one there. They're taking their time with it are the scores. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and Nakagawa squares the bunt. That's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count now goes to 3-0. Now it looks like it is an infield single, and Gibbo is going to get that there. It's not going to be an error charge to the shortstop, Fujioka. So 3 balls and no strikes to Nakagawa. As the right-hander holds set, now delivers. It's a fastball. It's taken for a called strike. Count is 3-1. Our friend Troll Zaddy says a few things. Was scared to take the Buffaloes. Glad you're calling them. And the Japanese food commercials make them hungry. Yeah, well, maybe they got a few bento box commercials for you as well. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. There's a fastball that's swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As we said, lots of wind here in Chiba. Even on the calm days, there's a lot of wind at this ballpark. I guess you would equate it to the San Francisco Giants Stadium, old Candlestick, and where they play now. Just the amount of swirling wind and how much blowing it is. I would assume probably in the month of August, if it's doing that and you got some warm breeze, it probably feels pretty good. I don't know about the rest of the year. There's the fastball swung on. This ball is lifted foul. It's going to blow into the seats behind the first base dugout, and that's going to keep the count full to Nakagawa. every level of play, throwing strikes is extremely important. You don't want to walk the yard. Zuma here has the count full with the runner Gibbo at first. And the designated hitter Tomoya Mori looming on deck. Here comes the 3-2. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Down to second goes the runner. And it's going to be a strike him out, throw him out. A nice throw there by the catcher Tamura. Oh, boy. That's a double play there. So Nakagawa retired on strikes for the first out. They throw down to second base. It's going to be caught stealing 2-6. I'm pretty sure it's 2-6. Actually, check that. It's 2-4. As he is going to be gone for the second out of the inning. We're looking to see if the Buffaloes manager chooses to challenge, but no, he doesn't. The runner stealing second, Gibbo, was out by a country mile. So here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down to Mori, and the count is 1-0. Mori on the season is now batting .303 with 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. Now here comes the 1-0 as the right-hander works to the set. And the pitch is on its way. It is a split-finger pitch, swung on and missed. The count is now 1-1 to Mori. So 1 ball and 1 strike. One of the things that I'd prefer to do would be to do a whole slew of games all at the same time right across the board. As we said, could have done the game tonight at 9 o'clock, but didn't get back until late. There's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. One thing is the Marines are pretty tough at home this year. One of the better home records in all the NPB. As it's 1 ball and no strikes here to the left-handed hitting Mori. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on, is grounded softly over to second. Fielding it on the run is Nakamura. He throws to first. That's going to retire Mori on a ground out 4-3. He's done for the third out of the inning. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There were no errors and nobody left the board. You're now moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1 and the Orix Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments, and it's time for us to get that coffee finally going. We'll be right back here after this from our friend, Steve Rademacher.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have Lira. We have Yen. We have francs, we have pounds, we have Deutschmarks, we have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the last half of the 4th inning, and it is going to be Kakanaka, Tamura, and Oka. Come to bat here to face the left-hander Sachiya Yamazaki. Yamazaki allowed that run in the last half inning. Interesting play. It was a walk to Fujioka, and after a couple of strikeouts, Fujioka had stole the base, put him into scoring position at second, and when Yasuda hit that ground ball, he was able to reach first base on a bang-bang play and then had to turn and throw home as they wheeled him right around all the way from second base. Some good heads-up coaching and base running. As he pitches on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. It is lined into center field. And Kakanaka's got himself a leadoff single here, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Tetsuhiro Tamura. One would have to think this is going to be a bunting situation and that the Marines are going to look to pad through their lead through some nickel and diming here. Nice job by the left fielder, Kakanaka, to keep his hands inside the ball. He was able to get himself that base hit. And sure enough, just as we call it, Tamura is already squaring the bunt. He's wasting no time. He's only batting 136, so I think his luck ran out when he walked back in the second inning. There's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball one. The count is 1-0. Tamura batting 136 with no homers and 4 RBIs. Squaring the bunt. He's right up on the plate. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball delivered. It is down. Yamazaki comes off the mound. He fields it. He throws over to the second baseman covering, and that is going to be a sacrifice. 1-4. That's going to retire Tamura. It's going to advance Kakanaka into scoring position. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Hiromi Oka. Well, for Oka tonight, he's officially 1 for 1. He's got a single in his only trip. He's got a chance to knock in another run here for the Marines. As the lefty Yamazaki gets the sign from his catcher. Now he works to the set position. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly back to the pitcher. They've got the runner hung up between second and third. They've got him in the rundown, but it's not a well-executed rundown. But now they've got both runners standing at second base. And they are going to tag Kakanaka as he steps off the bag. That Hiromi Oka is going to stay there. That's a good piece of good decision-making by Kakanaka. He is the slower of the two runners. Certainly Hiromi Oka can run a little bit. So what he did is rather than the Oka staying on the base, he just stepped off and let them tag him. And so that was able to end it there. So that would go in the books as a 1-6-5 putout. So 1-6-5 putout of Kakanaka for the second out of the inning. And Oka is on with a fielder's choice here. So he is at second base. And brings up the top of the order in Taiga Hirasawa. So Hirasawa tonight officially 0 for 1. He popped to second. And he is also walked. There was looks like a bag or something that made its way onto the field, so they called time. Kai Nakagawa had to go and retrieve it. As we said before, there's lots of wind here tonight. The jerseys are blowing around all over the place. So here comes the 0-1 offering. Or check that, the no ball, no strike offering. That's a fastball swung on it. It is grounded foul down the first baseline. Now it's going to be 0-1. Interesting to see how the two different teams have their philosophies. One team is throwing their whole staff, and the other team is probably going to ride their starter for about 6 or 7 innings. So the lefty Hirasawa digging in here at the plate. Runner at second is Oka. There's 2 gone here in the 4th inning. As he checks the runner at second, here's the pitch from Yamazaki. It's a fastball swung on. It is line foul down the left field line. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Taiga Hirasawa. As we mentioned before, after this series is completed, or once this series is completed, we will be following the Buffaloes and the Fighters next couple of nights. As the lefty works to the set position, checks the runner at second, and here comes the offering to Hirasawa. As he kicks and fires, it's a breaking ball that misses down. Holding at second base is the runner Oka. We were talking about the home records, and certainly the Marines, one of the best in the biz. They've got a .769 winning percentage. That's the tops in the not just the Pacific League, but also the Central League. They are 10-3 at home. They are tough to beat. On the flip side, the Buffaloes are a pretty darn good road team. They're 10-5 away from home entering this week, I should say, or at least that's the going into the week statistically. Doesn't take into fact the first two games of this set. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. But some pretty good numbers on the season for both of these clubs. Buffaloes entered the week at home with an 11-9 record, just 2 games over the 500 mark. Of course, that's still where they are today. As the lefty works to the set position, and he kicks and delivers. There's a slow breaking ball that swung on and lifted foul down the third baseline. Count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hirasawa. As the lefty works to the set position. And now time has been called as Hirasawa steps out because the wind is playing havoc. He adjusts himself. He rubs his eyes, and now he's ready to get back into the box. And here comes the 2-2 as the lefty holds to the set. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Hirasawa. 69 pitches already here for Yamazaki in the 4th inning. I don't know if we'll see him much past the 6th. I would think the Buffaloes would probably be looking for their bullpen at that point. So here comes the 3-2 offering as Hirasawa waggles the bat. And Yamazaki comes to the set. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it. Hirasawa gone for the 3rd out of the inning. That will do it here in their half of the 4th. Go the Marines. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 4 complete innings. Your score is the Marines 1 and the Buffaloes no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few as we will be moving to the top of the 5th inning, despite what the banner says. That is where we are headed to. Top of the 5th, about to come up. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, I got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Azuma who's coming back out for his 2nd inning of work. The starter, Hirahata, worked 2 innings. They passed the torch over to Iwashita. He worked the 3rd inning. Now this is the 2nd inning for Azuma as there's a breaking ball delivered and taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Tongu. It'll be Tongu, Gonzalez, and Kirby Ashi here to bat in the 5th inning. No balls and 1 strike to Tongu as the pitch is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Getting into that time of the ball game where that is for some of our people who like to place their wagers, the first 5 innings scores. As the pitch is a fastball that misses down and the count is 1-2. Of course, if you are also picking the number of relievers to be over at this point, you might have had a good chance because it is looks like a bullpen day here for the Marines. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And Tongu is down on strikes. He's gone for out number 1. So 1 Buffalo up and 1 Buffalo away. And that now is going to bring up the third baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. Well, for Gonzalez, he struck out his first time up against the starter, Hirohata, who has since departed. So he gets a new look at a new arm here. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is quickly 1-0. Gonzalez, with that strikeout in the first inning, saw his batting average drop to 232. He's got 7 homers and 14 runs batted in. Here comes the 1-0. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-1. Ball and 1 strike to Marwin Gonzalez. He gets the start at third base tonight. I don't know if I've seen him at third. We've seen him at short. We've seen him at second. We've seen him at first. So that takes care of everything across the infield. And he can play all 3 outfield positions. The position he has a little desire to play is behind the plate. And there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Nearing the halfway point of this ball game, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-2. Gonzalez, the last time, got himself into some problems, taking too many pitches in that last at bat, and then having to swing at pitches he didn't want to swing at. Here's the 2-2. As the right-hander delivers, it's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul just past the first base coach's box. Count is 2-2. So the right-hander Azuma steps off the backside of the rubber, and he's going to go through these signs again with his catcher Tamura. Interesting, he grips the ball in a split-finger pinch. He shows it to the hitter, and here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded past the first baseman and past the second baseman into right field. Chitani not able to stop it, and nor was the second baseman Nakamura. The ball had eyes. We watched this one again. It was a ground ball, and what it looked like is Chitani was moving to his right, and then all of a sudden he threw on the brakes. He didn't think he was going to get there. Well, once you committed to go, you needed to go because the pitcher covering, but Marwin Gonzalez will take it. That's going to be a single here with 1 out. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Kentaro Kobayashi. Well, for Kobayashi, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field his first time up. He's seen his average dip. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kentaro Kobayashi. Kobayashi getting the nod at shortstop tonight for the Buffaloes. Really only 1 prominent name out of the lineup. I guess maybe 2 if you include the import Frank Schwindel. But Yataro Sugimoto, who had a really good start, still out of action for the Buffaloes. There was a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Kobayashi. Gonzalez gets his lead over at first base as the right-hander works to this belt. And here's the 2-0. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes it is. So Kobayashi waiting here as he waggles the bat. And the right-hander Azuma works set to the belt. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. The runner at first, Gonzalez. 1 gone here in the 5th inning. No Yumamune also in the lineup tonight. He gets the night off. So no Mune, no Schwindel, no Sugimoto. And the 3-1 on the way. It's a fastball swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side. It's going to be 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Kobayashi. I would have to think that Kobayashi's got to do a better job with that swing on that pitch. He really rolled over pretty quick. That pitch looked like it was pretty good. I think he wants that one back, I would think. And he's not really a guy who's going to put a lot of pop in the stick. He's only got 1 home run on the season. As the 3-2 is on the way. And there's a breaking ball. It's taken for a called third strike. Oh, boy. He stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched that go by for the 2nd out of the inning. And that's going to leave it all up to Yuya Oda. Well, for Oda tonight, he grounded out the first, his only time up. He entered the ball game tonight with limited at-bats, hitting .400. He was 12 for 30. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on it, is tapped slowly down the third base line. A lot of English on it, and it's picked up in foul territory by the catcher Tamura. It's going to run the count to 0-1. So this is Yuya Oda at the plate, as we said. 12 hits and 30 trips entering tonight's affair. Now he's 12 for 31. Bats here from the left side against the right-handed throwing Azuma, who now works to the set position. Azuma on pitch number 33. And it's on its way. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. 2 strikeouts so far for Azuma. Let's check that. 3 strikeouts, 2 in this inning for Azuma. As he leans in and gets the sign from his catcher Tamura as he works to the set position. Now he's ready to delivers. It's a fastball swung on his chop slowly. Foul just down the first base line. That's going to keep the count at 0-2. Pitcher was racing to get over to the bag. The first baseman, of course, had to come in and get that one a little bit. He would have had a ton of time to make the play if that ball would have stayed fair. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. As the right-hander holds to the set and now delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say that Oda didn't go. Oh, boy, I'd like to have a look at that one. On real time, it looked like he may have offered. And on real time or on replay time, I'd have to agree that he offered, but the third base umpire thinks otherwise. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander holds set and now delivers. There's a breaking ball that just misses outside. There goes the runner on the delay, and that is going to be a stolen base for Gonzalez. I'd like to see that again. It looked like Tamura got lazy and dropped to his knees, and that Gonzalez was able to steal the bag. That is his first stolen base of the NPB. So he is aboard with a stolen base. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Oda as that last pitch was a ball. And the right-hander ready to go again is Azuma. And the pitch on the way, it is a breaking ball swung on it, is grounded softly over to first. Fielded neatly. The race to the bag is going to be in time and won by Azuma. Oh, boy. That was a bang-bang play, but that is going to be enough to retire Oda on a ground out. 1-3, and that will do it here in the 5th inning for the Buffaloes. Well, they had no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There were no errors, and there was a 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the Marines 1, the Buffaloes nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back with all the bottom of the 5th in just a couple moments. We appreciate you all for being with us. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the bottom of the 5th inning, and Sachiya Yamazaki is back out for his 5th inning of work. He's going to be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order, Fujioka, Nakamura, and Chitani. Our friend Orly P jumps in and says, who do you think is going to win this one? Well, if you had asked me, I would have said my money would have been on the Buffaloes. Buffaloes, I think, are a better club. But again, as we were talking through the night, the Chiba Lotte Marines have played a really good baseball at home, and you can't discount the way that they are playing right now. But it is a bullpen day, as it looks like here for the Marines. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Fujioka. Fujioka tonight walked and has scored the only run of the ball game, as there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. He has popped a short, and then as we said, he walked, he stole the base, and he was driven home by Hisanori Yasuda back in the 3rd inning. And here's the 0-2. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Left-hander Yamazaki facing the left-hander Fujioka. There's a fastball swung on it, is lined right back where it came from. Right back to the pitcher. Oh, Fujioka's going to feel hard done by. He hit that ball right on the screws. He is going to be gone for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. Well, for Nakamura tonight, he is 1 for 2. He singled in the 1st, and he struck out in the 3rd inning. Bats here with 1 gone in the 5th. As the pitch is a slow breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Nakamura. Left-hander against the right-hander. Yamazaki working to the set, now delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right center field. Coming hard is Nakagawa, the center fielder, and it's going to short hop him. He was unable to make the catch, and that is going to bring Nakamura all the way into second base. If you have to ask me, I think that's going to be ruled a single, but I think that might be an error on Nakagawa. We're going to see how they're going to rule it. He had to come hard to his left, and he almost made a great catch, but he was able to keep the ball in front of him. It ended up squirting behind him. We're watching this again on replay, and it actually hit the left finger of his glove, and he wasn't able to make the catch. And then to add insult to injury, Nakamura has now at second base. So with Nakamura at second, and that brings up the right-handed hitting Kenta Chitani. And so here comes the first offering from the lefty Yamazaki. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Chitani. I'll have to get the scoring summary there for Nakamura. It looks like it was a single there. I don't think they're going to charge anybody with an error, but maybe when the ball got by the fielder. But regardless, that is a base hit here for Nakamura. He is at second base here with a 1-ball, no strike count to Chitani. The pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-0 for the Marines as they are batting here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Pitch number 79 coming up here for Yamazaki as he checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Chitani. The pitch there was right underneath the hands. Batting average of .226 for the Marines on the year. As we said before, they are struggling to get things going offensively, but they're doing enough with their pitching and scoring timely runs to get them the victories. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-2. That's the part that's the bit of a head scratcher, but only batting .226 as a unit. Waiting on deck is Hisanori Yasuda. Should he be able to come up to bat here in this inning? Here's the pitch. It's a slow breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to the right side. It is fielded by the first baseman Tagu, who flips it to the pitcher covering. That's going to be a ground out, 3-1. And it is Chitani who is down for the second out of the inning. Advancing over to third is Nakamura, and that is going to bring up the third baseman Hisanori Yasuda. Well, Yasuda steps to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He drove in the only run that the Marines were able to score. He's also struck out and was thrown out 2-3. Our friend Andy Altman-Orr in the house here, as the lefty works to the set position. As Yamazaki kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. He says he is in Ho Chi Minh City, formerly Saigon. What a city of what must be about 3 million motorcycles. Every time you cross the street, it's an adventure. I can only imagine. He says his report from Ascon Field, it's a super nice stadium, very modern, very U.S. style. Restaurants everywhere, craft beer, roof to watch the game from. That's pretty cool. I watched a little bit of that game earlier on tonight, Andy. There was a fastball that misses up, and the count goes to 1-1 on Yasuda. I was watching the game. I would have preferred to call that game than this one, not because of the two teams that were playing, but because of the earlier start. We got CV Baseball Card Collector in the house here tonight. We welcome you. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded foul just down the line at third base. It almost hit the runner Nakamura in foul territory. That's going to run the count to 1-2. Our friend CV Baseball Card Collector says, who is pitching here in this one? Well, it's a bullpen day for the Marines. They have rolled 3 different pitchers. For the Buffaloes, it has been Sachiya Yamazaki. So here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. Our friend Andy says it is hard to get to the stadium. They run a constant stream of shuttle buses for $2 to $4 from 2 or 3 subway stations, or you can walk 23 minutes from the closest station. Yeah, that's what I've heard. They said it's not easy to get to. Looked like they had a decent crowd tonight, but their uniforms, if you haven't checked them out, their uniforms are absolutely, they were ugly. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Yasuda's gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here in the 5th. There was no runs. There was a hit. There was no errors, and that runner was stranded at third base. Your score after 5 complete, It is 1-0 here for the Marines. I got to take a break, everybody. I'm going to put this on the loop for a couple of moments. We'll come back with what we like to call our Japanese halftime when we return. But if I don't do a fifth inning stretch here, we might be passed out by the sixth. Appreciate you guys for being here. I'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to give you a scoring update here from around the NPB. The other game in the Pacific League, only 2 games tonight, as the Fighters knocked off the Lions 6-2. You caught some of that ball game. It was a 3-2 game for the Lions, and then the Fighters scored 3 in the bottom of the 8th to ice the deal. Scores from around the Central, it is a 5-1 lead for the Giants over the Swallows. That game is in the top of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Bay Stars have a 5-1 lead over the Carp. And it is a 4-0 lead for the Tigers over the Dragons. That is in the top of the 6th. And that is where we stand here. Our friend Andy Eltman-Orr had chimed in and was talking about the uniforms of the Fighters. And the tops are nice with old-style collars. Yeah, the collars were interesting. Reminiscent of the turn of the century, 20th century, yes, but the pants are absolutely atrocious. Very, very, very difficult in which to look at. We do have a new pitcher. It is going to be the 4th one of the ball game to be used by the Marines as their bullpen night continues. This is going to be Takahiro Nishimura as he's coming on in relief. The right-hander here taking over for the pitcher Azuma, who pitched a couple innings. So curious to see how they're going to manage this, if they're going to go 1 inning or 2 innings, or what they're going to do the rest of the way. And ironically, they did. It's not like they had a unit of pitchers on the game sheet. A little bit on the light side. So for the former Hokkaido Nippon Ham fighter, Hira Nishimura, he is taking over here. As the right-hander ready to go to work. Now he kicks And he delivers. There's a fastball. It's taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Ishikawa. Ishikawa, Chano, and Gibbo to come to bat here. As the pitch is delivered, it is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And now the count goes to 0-2 on Ishikawa. Ishikawa looking for his first hit of the campaign. Entered the season 0-3 tonight. Ishimura has been outstanding, by the way, for the Marines this season. He has pitched in 15 ball games. He's worked 14 innings, allowed 7 hits, walked 5, and struck out 13, but he is yet to allow a run of any variety. As the pitch is a split finger pitch, it misses down. The count now goes to 1-2. Our friend Andy says, appreciate the broadcasts and enjoyed listening to them, gaining some NPB insight. Now that I'm out of Japan, I won't be tuning in much anymore. Well, that's unfortunate. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes as we are on different parts. Andy says he will be in Mexico toward the end of July. Speaking of bad baseball pants, yeah, I can only imagine what goes on over there. As the 2-2 is on the way here. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-2. Yeah, we'll try to also call, we'll try, hopefully not try to call all these late night games. But I can't wait for the interleague play. The interleague play starts in a couple of weeks' time, and that is where it gets exciting. 18 games of interleague play. So for 3 weeks, we'll be trying to do as many as we can. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Ishikawa down on strikes for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up the top of the order in Takamasa Chano. We have, obviously, the ball games that we enjoy calling, and some of them here in the later parts are a little bit more challenging. As we said, the Fighters tonight played that game at 9 o'clock Pacific time. That would have been the favored one that I would have preferred to do. But unfortunately for us, not able to do that. We had other commitments. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly no balls and 1 strike to Chano. Our friend Chris, the hobbyist, has popped in here this morning, and we welcome you. As he is probably getting ready to make his way to work. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. We are here in the top of the 6th inning, and the score is 1-0. We sometimes lose our ticker a little bit. I had to do my own little stretch on the in-between. That is for us to be able to keep awake. Here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. For a 1-0 ball game, you would think that we would be sailing right along here, but we really haven't been. It's kind of been a game that has stalled. 2-1 pitch here, ready to go as the right-hander delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field, coming in hard and continuing to come in hard, almost into deep shortstop position as the left fielder, Kakanaka. He does have a smile. That is going to retire Chano for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Sho Gibbo to the plate. Gibbo 1 for 2 in this one. As he's got a single and 2 trips, he also struck out looking. And ironically, as we said before, Gibbo entered the ball game tonight hitting .409. With the single that he has in 2 trips. As the first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled right off the mask of the... That was actually pretty funny. That was fouled right off the mask of the catcher, Tamura. I'm sure I'm not laughing at him, but the mask spun right around. It was caught by the home plate umpire right behind him. That was the funny part. So very, very interesting. So that's no balls and 1 strike. You don't see that every day. Spun the mask of the catcher right off his face and into the hands of the umpire. So here's the 0-1. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Gibbo. So no balls and 2 strikes it is. As the right-hander works to the set position and now fires. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it. That's a pretty quick inning there for the right-hander Nishimura. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. As the Buffaloes go down in order, your score as we move to the bottom half of the 6th inning, it is the Marines 1, the Buffaloes nothing. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. And it is one of those races. It's the Flash, the Atlanta Brave version of the Flash. It is the mascot or the runner versus the fan. We get a good kick out of this, and we're going to see how he's going to do this time. They give the fan the head start, and they've got all the cheerleaders at the back end holding up the finish line. They give the head start here to the fan. So let's stay with us here as we watch this one. The fan, we've seen a fan win here, although I have to say it doesn't look like it's going to be this one. Here comes that runner. He is moving at a heck of a pace. He's lost his headgear, and now he's got to cover his mask, and he's laughing as he high steps it past the fan in the end. But he did lose his headgear. He's got to keep his hand on his mask. They don't want him to see him of who that is, but he lost his headgear coming around the corner. But he wins again here. We'll be back in just a few, as it is the crazy races of everything else going on. All right, Andy, great to hear you again. We will see you in just a bit. Hopefully, you will be back around at some point in the near future. But regardless, enjoy your time in Vietnam. We'll be back in just a few.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Gregory Polanco stepping up to the plate, and he is going to take a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Polanco, Kakanaka, and Tamura to face the lefty Yamazaki, who's still in the ballgame, and it's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Friend Andy Altman Orr doing the virtual tours. Him and his wife. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. Moving back onto the warning track and making the grab up against the wall is the right fielder Chano. Gregory Polanco hit that one on the screws. He just didn't hit it deep enough. He is going to be gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder Katsuya Kakanaka. Well, for Kakanaka, he is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He was also put out in that last half inning or a couple innings ago in that rundown between second and third as he takes a fastball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Kakanaka. And there's a slow breaking ball that is delivered, and it is hammered foul down the third base line. That's going to run the count to 0-2. That last pitch was at 87 kilometers an hour. If you're wondering what that type of speed is, you're looking at about a 52 mile an hour breaking ball. Here's the 0-2 offering. It's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. And of course, then the pitcher Yamazaki follows that up with an 88 mile an hour fastball. It probably made that fastball look like it was coming in at 105. So here comes the offering from the lefty. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is golfed into center field, but this ball is going to hang up enough for Nakagawa to camp out underneath it and make the grab. That is going to do it here for Kakanaka. He's gone for out number 2. That's going to leave it up to Tatsuhiro Tamura. Well, for Tamura tonight, he is officially does not have an at-bat. He's had a sacrifice bunt, and he has walked in his 2 trips to the plate. So left-hander against the right-hander. As we are ready to resume the action here. As Yamazaki kicks and delivers, there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Tamura. So the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the lefty holds set, now delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the left field line into the corner. It's going to be extra bases for Tamura. He runs first. He's heading into second. Coming up with the ball is the left fielder Oda, and he fires it into third. That's going to prevent Tamura from advancing any further. He's got himself a 2-out double. That's going to bring up the center fielder Hiromi Oka. Well, for Oka tonight, he has been reached base twice. Last time he bounced into a fielder's choice, and he singled back in the second inning. So officially 1 for 2 tonight, but that looks like it might be the end of the night for Yamazaki. At 5 2/3 innings, he's at 96 pitches. The pitching coach, Hirai, is out to the mound. I think that they have already made the motion for his night to be over. I would have thought they would have let him get to Oda and then maybe or Oka and then flipped it when they got to the top of the order. But by the looks of it, the manager is going to be making a change, and we're going to be taking a time out here in just a few. We'll be right back as they make the change. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you for all listening in. It is going to be a pitching change. Buffaloes are going to the bullpen. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Titus is in the house, and we welcome you to the stream. We do have a pitching change for the Orix Buffaloes as they're going to the bullpen. It says Chia Yamazaki's night is over. We'll get you the specs here for the pitcher for the Buffaloes. It is going to be Hiromi Oka coming to bat. It is going to be Higa onto the hill as he is going to be taking over. So Mataki Higa on in relief, the sidewinder, working his 9th ball game of the year. He's got a record of 2-0. He has worked so far this year 4 innings. He's allowed 3 hits. He has no walks, 1 strikeout, and he's got an ERA of 4.5. So he is on here in relief of the starter Sachiya Yamazaki as he completes his warm-up tosses. Make our notes and let you know that both starters are obviously out of the game. But this is going to be pitcher number 2 used by the Buffaloes. So Higa on in relief. The runner at second is the catcher Tamura, who doubled here with 2 gone. And it is Oka coming to the plate. Oka, as we said, has reached base twice tonight. He bounced into a fielder's choices last time up, and he singled back in the second inning. So he is going to be batting here. Our friend Titus asked how we're doing today. So far, so good. We're kind of on the tired side here. Unable to get a pregame nap in. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Oka batting in the 9 spot, looking to try to turn the batting over to Taiga Hirasawa. As the 0-1 offering is ready to come here. And now asking for time is Oka as he steps out of the box. So no balls and one strike to Oka. 2 gone here in the 6th inning. As the right-hander Higa holds set. And now he delivers. There's a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. Last pitch was at 90 miles an hour on the radar gun. So the catcher Tamura is at second base. He's not the most fleetest of runners, so a base hit to the outfield here could score him. So here we go. Here comes the offering from the righty who holds set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And it looked like Oka was going to screw himself into the ground. That's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. In some ways, when I watch Oka swing, his lower half kind of reminds me of Hunter Pence. There's some of those motions that he has that kind of reminds me of the former San Francisco Giant and Texas Ranger, I guess Philadelphia Philly. So here comes the 1-2. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Oka. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned earlier, be sure to bookmark the channel if you're new, and we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. As we say, whether you listen live or on delay, we always appreciate everybody who pops into the stream. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as Higa holds set, checks the runner. Now he delivers. It is a fastball that misses off the outside corner. That's going to run the count to 3-2. He did hit his spot, but he just missed off the outside corner of the plate. Not able to induce the swing from Oka. That's going to put the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the righty Higa gets his sign, he's ready to go back to work. Shakes off his catcher. Now Oka has called for time. He's taken too much time here. You might as well get it straight. As straight as you can possibly have it. The right-hander Higa leans in. Now he works to the set position. Checks the runner at second. And now he delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to third, and it's going to get down the line as it bounced off the bag and past the third baseman Gonzalez. A bit hard luck here. You gotta be good to be lucky, and sometimes that's the case. It's going to be an RBI for Oka. It's going to score Tamura all the way from second. A bit of hard luck here for the pitcher Higa. That's going to bring the top of the order in Taiga Hirasawa to the plate. We watch it again. It was a ground ball right down the third base line. It hit the bag. It popped up over the head of Gonzalez. It ended up down the line in left field, and picking it up, of course, was the left fielder on that particular play, Oda. By the time he did that, that is already scored the runs. So that is an RBI for Oka's second hit of the night. He's turned the batting order over to Taiga Hirasawa. As the right-hander works to the set position. Instead, they throw it over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner. So Oka establishes his lead at first. Higa on the mound. He's leaning in and getting the signal from his catcher. Hirasawa tonight officially 0 for 2. He's popped to second, struck out, and he's walked. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Left-handed hitting. Hirasawa waggling the bat. The wind is not settled down particularly. Still blowing at a pretty good clip. Higa checks the runner at first, and he works to the set. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Hirasawa. Hirasawa getting the opportunity here to try to drive in another run. So 2 balls and no strikes. Higa ready to go to work again. Gets the sign from his catcher. Checks the runner at first. And here comes the 2-0. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-1. I can kind of see why Higa may present some problems to the opposition. Certainly in his arm angle, the way the ball comes out. It's not something that you see every day from ball players. Now, once upon a time, he have been able to do some of that stuff, but here we go. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. And they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Oka. They got to keep an eye on him because he can run a little bit. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Hirasawa. The runner at first is Oka. 1 run on the board here in the inning. It is now a 2-0 Marine lead. As the right-hander holds set, now delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted into shallow left field. Coming hard on it is the left fielder, and that is going to be hauled in by Oda. And that is going to do it here as Hirasawa has flown out to left for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, they had a run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the top half of the 7th inning. Your score is 2-0 now for the Marines. We'll be right back after this, everybody. Time to get that tea in us. That is for sure. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be another pitcher used here tonight by the Chiba Lotte Marines. The pitching parade is going to continue as it is going to be Luis Perdomo, who is now taking over here on the mound for the Marines. So Perdomo on in relief. The conga line is going to have to keep going. Looks like we have a change in the outfield. It looks like it's going to be Wada now moving into center field. We'll get that information as they go along. So it looks like the day will be done for Oka. Although we'll keep an eye in case they've moved him into one of the corner outfield positions. Here we go. It is going to be Nakagawa, Mori, and Tongu to face the right-hander Perdomo, who delivers a first pitch fastball for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The right-hander delivers again. There's a breaking ball swung on his grounded softly into the 6 hole, fielded by the shortstop Fujioka, and he throws it in the dirt. That's going to get by the first baseman. But I think that Nakagawa beats it out anyway. I'd like to see what they're going to give him, but one would have to think that ball was hit very deep into the 6 hole. It was fielded by the shortstop, and he would have been safe by probably a step or half a step anyway. So Nakagawa, the runner at first, that brings Tomoya Mori to the plate. This has the opportunity and the makings of a potentially big inning. On the flip side, it also could be a double play ball that could end this thing or end this half inning. And here's the first pitch to Mori. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. The pitch looked pretty good from our angle. Not so, says the home plate umpire. So here comes the 1-0. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. We are here in the top half of the 7th inning. It's 2 balls and no strikes to Tomoya Mori. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 3-0. Might as well just put the 4th finger up in the dugout and put them on intentionally. Start with a fresh count to the next hitter, which would be Yuma Tongu. Now asking for time is the batter, Tomoya Mori. And now we're ready to go again. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Tomoya Mori. Right-hander leans in and he gets his sign. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And now the count goes to 3-2. So looks like that Perdomo's wanting to come all the way back here to Mori. A very strong, powerful package. He will be regretting that pitch that he didn't do a better job with the contact. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4. So Mori's aboard with a walk. Oh, and the Buffaloes now here in the 7th inning have got some action going. They've got runners at first and second. It's going to be Yuma Tongu stepping to the plate. But before that happens, the catcher Tamura is out to the mound to talk to the reliever Rodriguez. So the runner at first is Mori. The runner at second is Nakagawa. And coming to the plate here is Yuma Tongu. Tongu in tonight's action is 0 for 2. He does have a homer and 10 RBIs on the campaign. So here's the first offering. It's a fastball swung on. The bat has been broken. They go over to second for 1. Back to first. It's a double play. Oh, boy. Not only was the play had to be made by the third baseman, Yasuda, he had to stay with it because he's got the barrel of the bat flying at him. And that on that one pitch, it's going to be a 5-4-3 double play. In some ways, I would have liked to see them maybe try to tag that runner as well. So that is where we are at. And that is going to bring up Marwin Gonzalez to the plate, or scheduled to bring him up. He's still going to hit here. Gonzalez tonight is a 1 for 2. He's got a single in his 2 trips. He's raised his season average up to 238. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Buffaloes here trail the Marines 2-0. This game here is in the top of the 7th inning, so that we are getting into the deep water, so to speak. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled over on the first base side. Count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Marwin Gonzalez. Waiting his turn on deck is Kitaro Kirbiashi, should Gonzalez be able to reach safely here. So here comes the 1-1. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down. The count now goes to 2-1. I mentioned before in one of our other streams, we had a fellow who was up here who made a comment about Ralph. It was Ralph Dickinson, the assistant pitting coach for the Astros. And he said that Dexter Fowler could walk up to the plate without a bat and be able to work a 3-2 count. And that ability with the umpires, as there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed in the count, and it goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. In some ways, It's almost like the approach that a couple of the Buffalo players have. Get up to the plate, not say anything. There's a fastball that misses down. The count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. A catcher, Tamura, flashes his signs to Perdomo, and now Perdomo comes to the set. And now he delivers. It is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Gonzalez is down on strikes. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here in the 7th inning for the Buffaloes. Well, they threatened, but they don't score. There was no runs in the inning. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. They're now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is the Marines 2 and the Buffaloes no score. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. After this, it is late night baseball on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming up to bat here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. It is going to be, check that, the Marines in their half of the inning. It is going to be Fujioka, Nakamura, and Chitani, the 2-3-4 hitters in the batting order. Marines have a 2-0 lead here. It has been a bullpen day, and you've got to tip your hat to the Marines. Their bullpen has pitched really well here today. That is who the Marines have. We're going to check to see if Higa is going to stay in the ball game or if the Buffaloes are going to move one of their chess pieces around to counteract what is going on the other side. A little slow to come back here, as they did have some school children on the field. Of course, the cheerleaders were out there with them and crawling. I'm not sure exactly what they were doing. We do have a pitching change, as it is going to be yet another one here, as the day for Higa is complete. This is going to be a right-hander coming into the ball game. And it looks like, do we have him on the game sheet? Yes, it is. It's Taisi Urashibara. So Taisi Urashibara into the ball game. He's got 9 games that he's appeared in. He's pitched in 12 innings. He's allowed 9 hits, 5 walks. He struck out 6, and he's got an earned run average of 0. So Urashibara in relief, as he is going to be the 3rd pitcher used now here by the Buffaloes. He's going to have to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order. That's going to be Yudai Fujioka, Shogo Nakamura, and Kenta Chitani. And here comes the first offering. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away by Fujioka. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike here to Yudai Fujioka. So Urashibara ready to go again. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And the right-hander ready to go back to work as as Urashibara leans in and gets his sign from his catcher. Now he comes set to the belt. He kicks and delivers. There's a split finger pitch and misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned before, this game here for a 2-0 ball game, it's just the tempo and the pace is kind of rough. Some larger scores from around the Central League, and yet they're a little further ahead than this one as the fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 3 balls and a strike to Fujioka. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is. And the right-hander wanted the new baseball. We're ready to go again here. Now he leans in. He gets his sign from his catcher, Ishikawa. And here comes the 3-1 offering. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4. The Marines got a leadoff runner here in the 7th inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. Well, Nakamura, tonight he is a 2 for 3. He's got a couple of hits, and he's also struck out. So Nakamura has, we said, gone off to a real rough start at the beginning of the year. Now with the 2 knocks tonight, he's pulled his average up to 207. So Nakamura gets himself settled in the batter's box. He's ready here to face the offering from Urashibara. As the righty leans in, he gets his sign from Ishikawa. Now he works to the belt. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So not exactly what the Buffaloes wanted in relief here. Got some pitchers that are having a hard time locating their stuff. So 1 ball and no strikes. Urashibara ready to go again. The runner at first is Fujioka. He already has a stolen base in this game. Got to keep our eyes over there. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Nakamura. Marines crowd is still into it, but they're not as emphatic as they were before. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. As Nakamura is waggling his bat, gets back in the batter's box. If we had to put the clock on this, I'm saying a good solid 30 seconds between pitches. I might have time to have a little nap in between here. And I'm talking just 1 pitch to the next. Here comes the 1-1. And there is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Appreciate everybody who has come in, whether they listen live or on delay. We do thank you for your support. Hopefully you've enjoyed listening along with us here. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander Shibara delivers. It's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And what is going on here? That's actually a pretty smart play. So Nakamura swung and missed. He is retired for the first out of the inning. He took off to run to first base. Running to second was Fujioka, and he is going to slide in there safely. He's going to get himself a stolen base. But Nakamura is going to be struck out. And what Nakamura did is he kind of created some panic for the defense there as he struck out. And because first base was occupied, he could not advance. So the throw, if anything, was to get that runner going down to second base. And, of course, the runner down there being Fujioka, a little bit hard for him here. So here's what's going to happen. We've got the batter, Chitani, coming to bat. He's 0 for 3 tonight. The runner, Fujioka, is over at second. There's 1 gone. And the Marines here are looking to add to their lead. It's 2-0 right now. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Chitani. So 1 ball and no strikes. After this one is done, we will give you a quick recap on the games, and then we will shut her down for the night. But we will get you up to date on some of the scoreline here in just a couple of moments, as there is one game that's turning really ugly. Good thing we're not calling that one. There's a fastball that misses inside. Count now goes to 2-0 on Chitani. Other score from the game that finished earlier in the Pacific, 6-2 for the Fighters over the Lions. Across the scoreboard in the in the bottom of the 7th inning, it's the Giants 5 and the Swallows 1. The Vantolin Dome, it's a 4-1 lead for the Tigers over the Dragons. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike to Chitani, but the laugher that it's turning into in the bottom of the 6th inning, Yokohama has a 13-1 lead over the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. By the looks of it, there probably is more offense to come. They're probably having fights at the bat rack. Make sure they get a bat to go up there and hit. So here comes the 2-1 pitch, as Chitani is waiting here on the offering from Urasobara. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on. It has popped up into shallow. Well, it's popped up over into the area of third base, and it's going to fall and drop in as Marwin Gonzalez cannot make the catch. Oh boy, that ball was blowing around. Gonzalez came in to try to make the grab, and that ball hit the deck. That's going to put runners at first and second. I don't think he even touched it. I think it was absolute complete whiff. We'll have to take a look and see how the official scorer will score it. I probably would end up giving him a base hit on that because it wasn't of ordinary effort. He started basically even with the bag and had to race in to try to catch it, and he couldn't do it. I think he overran the ball to some degree, but that's the way it's going to work. Well, we'll have to wait and see what the scoring decision is on this. So here comes the next hitter to the plate, and that is going to be Gregory Polanco. So Polanco getting a chance to hit here with runners at first. Sorry, check that. That's Yasuda. It'll be Polanco up next. Yasuda getting a chance to hit here. He's 1 for 3 and an RBI tonight. He takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. We'll see if they've updated the scoring on that one. Well, they did give it an error on the third baseman, so it's going to be E5. Has allowed Chitani to reach base here. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Brady holds set. Now he delivers. It is a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. Only 1 gone here in the 7th inning. The runner at second is Fujioka. The runner at first is Chitani. The Marines are looking to pad their lead here as they bat in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The right-hander Urasobara leans in. He gets his sign from his catcher, and he works to the set. Checks the runner with a long look, and now he delivers. It's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. Yasuda's had 2 strikes called against him here in this at-bat, and both of them, you have to feel for him a little bit. It looks like he's a little bit hard done by. And that is for sure. That's how I would look at it here. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Urasobara ready to go again. Our friend undrafted player in the house, so we welcome you as well. It's 1 ball and 2 strike count. We're wondering if undrafted player got his package back from the Buffaloes this year. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-2 on Yasuda. The because last year, for those of you who are listening, undrafted player who joins us in the chat, he's from France. And what happened was he asked teams last year for a fan pack. Went to all the NPB teams. Only team to send him something back was the Orix Buffaloes. So here we go. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And it's on the way in. It's a split finger pitch and misses down. A good block there by the catcher Ishikawa. That's going to run the count to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. 18 pitches already here in the inning for Urashibara. As we said, this is a game here. We have a 2-0 ball game. It's got no tempo and pace. There's other games that runs are being scored at a wicked pace. And yet, they're deeper into the game than we are here. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Stepping off the backside of the rubber is Urashibara, and he's going to do this over again. So the right-hander leans in. 3 balls and 2 strikes it is to Yasuda. The runner at second, Fujioka. The runner at first, Chitani. As the right-hander holds to the set. Checks the runner at second and now delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. It's going to be ball 4. That is going to load the bases. Bases are now full of Marines. It's going to bring the pitching coach out. As he is on a slow trot to the mound, it'll bring Gregory Polanco to the plate. Bases are loaded. Only 1 gone here in the 7th. They definitely could use an induced double play here. They have a conference of Buffaloes on the mound. And it is the error by Marwin Gonzalez here that is looming large in this half inning. The drop pop fly. Our friend undrafted player says he's a lazy boy. He hasn't done the 2023 NPB fan pack requests. He says he hears that the Buffaloes are not the most popular team in Japan, but probably popular in France. They keep sending out their fan packs. You are correct. The Buffaloes do not have a big fan base. When they merged, when it was the Kintetsu Buffaloes and the Orix Blue Wave, and they merged, they played basically all but 3 homestands in the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. They do play, I believe it's 3 homestands in Kobe. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside to Polanco, and the count is 1-0. So now Urashibara having a hard time throwing strikes. He's walked 2 batters in the inning, and 1 has reached via an error. There's a 1 gone. And Polanco here ready to go. Polanco did fly out deep to right field to the warning track his last time up. So here comes the offering from Urashibara. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up on the right side of the infield. If it stays fair, it might be an infield fly rule, but it goes into foul territory, and it's going to be caught by Tongu. Wasted at bat there by Polanco. He's going to be gone for the 2nd out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to Katsuya Kakanaka. Will come to bat with the bases loaded and 2 out. Yeah, undrafted player says they don't get the biggest fan base. And that's another thing, too. Sometimes you'll see that the game will be games in Osaka. You got all kinds of standing room, all kinds of places to watch the game from. As they don't fill it up. More visiting teams or visiting team fans will get there. So this is going to bring, it looks like a pinch hitter to the plate. This is going to be Wada, who is coming to the ball game for Kakanaka. So Wada, who came in as a defensive replacement, is now going to bat for Kakanaka here. He bats from the left side. And there's a first pitch fastball that misses outside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. As we said, Wada, who is in the ball game, he also had moved into center field, as this is Kashiro Wada. He's waiting here on the offering from the righty Urishimara. Here comes the 1-0. The pitch is on the way. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. Wada here this year, he's appearing in his 10th ball game, batting 192. He's got no homers and no RBIs. He does have 4 stolen bases. He's there because he runs well. In his career, he has stolen over 20 bases, but again, he was pretty much a pinch runner for a lot of those games. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Wada. We're getting into a crunch situation here. The bases are loaded. There's 2 gone. Urishimara is pitching here to Wada. That's 2 balls and 1 strike. There's nowhere to put him. Going to have to throw him something sometime. And if not, when, where? Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2. Should Wada get on, it'll be Tatsuhiro Tamura. Waits his turn on deck. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wada here waggling the bat. Bases are full of Marines. With 2 gone here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As the right-hander Urishimara leans in and he gets his sign. And now he works to the set. This has got to be one of the slowest tempos. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind the third base dugout. It's going to keep the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Urishimara here looking to close it off here and escape unscathed. The Marines here looking to try to get themselves another run to pad their lead. And here comes the 2-2 offering. As the right-hander works to the set, he checks the runners. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside. It's going to be ball 3. So now we got 3-2, and the runners are going to be off to the races at the time of the pitch. Runner at third is Fujioka. Runner at second, Chitani. Runner at first is Yasuda. Bases full of Marines. 2 gone. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Wada as he waits on the offering from Urishimara, who nods in agreement with his catcher Ishikawa. And now he steps off the rubber, and we're going to do this all over again. The gamesmanship from Urishimara is unbelievable here in this one. So here comes the 3-2. And the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on and it's fouled away, and the battle will continue. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Wada. He's earned every single pitch. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Urishimara ready to go again. Pitch number 29 of the inning ready to happen here. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball that misses inside. Urishimara wanted the pitch, but no, sir. That's the 3rd walk of the inning. So 3 walks in the inning, and an error is the demise here. That's going to increase the scoreline to 3-0 now for the Chiba Lotte Marines. Coming in to score is Yudai Fujioka. It's going to advance Chitani over to third. It's going to move Yasuda over to second, and Wada is the runner at first, and it's scheduled to bring up Tatsuhiro Tamura. And that is exactly who is coming about. The catcher steps up to the plate. He has had himself a productive night. He's had a double and scored a run. He's walked and he's had a sacrifice bunt. So officially 1 for 1 in this one. He scored that run in the last half inning. He got things going with 2 out. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Tamura. This game here, the Marines are looking to blow it apart. You have a 3-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Tamura waggles the bat, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander who delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined off the bag. The second time in the inning that the ball has hit the bag, it's gone into foul territory. They have to retrieve it. That's going to put runners at the corners. Tamura is going to get himself a single. He's going to get himself 2 RBIs. It's going to advance Chitani to score, as it does Yasuda, and over to third base will be Wada. And that is where we are right now, a 5-0 lead for the Marines. Lots of damage here in the last half of the 7th inning. But who would have thought it? That's the second time that the ball has hit the third base bag and taken a ricochet. Well, that's going to bring up Hiromi Oka to the plate, or scheduled to bring up Oka. Oka has lived on the base paths tonight. Runners at the corners. The runner at third is Wada. The runner at first is Tamura. And Hiromi Oka, who comes up, he's 2 for 2 tonight. He's also bounced, he's 2 for 3 tonight. He's bounced into a fielder's choice, and he's got 2 singles. He's also driven in a run. So he has been active. We do have a pinch runner for Tamura over at first base. Let's see if we can get you that in a moment here as well. Take my eyes off the stuff and we lose it for a second. This is number 57 in the ball game. So we'll see who is running over at first base. And here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that is taken for a called strike. The runner is taking off for second, but they put the play on where the pitcher cuts the ball off. A stolen base there by Tamura. And that first pitch was a strike delivered to Oka. The count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. By the looks of it, it is Tatsunori Agawa who is in to pinch run now for the catcher. So Gawa, the runner at second, the runner at third is Wada. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Giving chase is Nakagawa. He's got to back up, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here, as that will retire Oda for the 3rd out of the inning. And mercifully, this inning has come to an end. 3 runs in the inning by the Marines, and on the benefit of only 1 hit. And there was an error. It looks like there was an error going to be charged, and there was 2 runners left aboard. Your score is now 5-0 as we are 7 complete. We'll be back in just a few, everybody. We thank everybody for listening in, and we're glad you are with us here tonight. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this. Yet another pitching change here for the Marines. We'll be back in just a few. We'll get that one for you when we return. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Kenta Kanuma's turn on the mound here as he is going to be taking over. He's got a 1-1 record, or he did last year. He hasn't pitched yet in 2023. He was with the big club last year. He had worked 25 1/3 innings, and he had a 6.04 ERA. Walks were similar to the strikeouts. He had 14 walks and 15 strikeouts last year, but we'll see how Onuma is going to do here, as he is going to be facing the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Buffaloes, Kobayashi, Oda, and Ishikawa to come to bat. And it is going to be Sato, who is the new catcher, who is going to be in behind the plate. So Sato is the new backstop for the Marines. And here comes the first pitch to Kobayashi. It's a fastball that just misses inside for ball one. The count is 1-0. Kobayashi in this one, 0 for 2. He has flown out to right and struck out looking his 2 trips. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 1-1 on Kobayashi. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. And here comes the offering from the right-hander, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-1. This is the problem. Relievers having to come in and throw strikes. To make the catch is the right fielder Taga Hirasawa. So that is going to retire Kobayashi for the first out of the inning. Can't ask for a better swing than that. And that is going to bring up left fielder Yuya Oda. Well, for Oda tonight, he is officially 0 for 2. He's grounded the first and grounded back to the pitcher. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down for ball one. The count is 1-0. What has seen his season average drop to 375 on the evening tonight. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes it is to Oda. Again, Onuma ready to go to work. He's facing Oda, and then it'll be Ishikawa to come to bat. 5-0 Marines have the lead. There's a fastball that misses up and away. Count goes to 3-0. This has got to drive the coaches crazy, because you certainly don't want to put a batter or 2 on with some free passes, and then next thing you know, somebody hits a home run and it's no longer a 5-run lead. It becomes a significantly amount closer. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike. The count now goes to 3-1 on Oda. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Noma ready to deliver again as he works to the set position. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. That's going to walk Oda. And now that is going to bring up the catcher, Ryo Ishikawa. Well, for Ishikawa in this one, he's still hunting for his first hit of the season. He was 0 for 5 now. So no balls and 2 strikes to Ishikawa as the check that. No balls and no strikes to Ishikawa. There's 1 gone here in the inning. Runner at first is Oda, and here comes the offering here from the right-hander Onuma, and there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul behind home plate, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. After Ishikawa, he's trying to turn it over to the top of the order as Tokumasa Chano waits his turn on deck. Here comes the one strike offering. It's a fastball. It catches the outside corner. Now the count goes to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. So again, the right-hander Onuma checks his sign. You want to talk about a snail's pace? We are in one now. Here comes the 0-2. The right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 1-2. If I do a little bit of quick math and I figure out how many walks there have been tonight, really for the Buffaloes have only earned themselves 2 base on balls, and they've happened in the last couple innings. Now here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that gets away from the catcher, gets all the way to the backstop. Oh boy, that's going to take away the double play. It's going to give Oda an opportunity to get down to second. Not sure how they're going to score that if it's a wild pitch or pass ball. We have, in my opinion, catcher should have had it, but that's the way it goes. So we're going to call that one a wild pitch or pass ball. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Ishikawa here is waiting on the offering. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that is a defensive swing by Ishikawa. That's fouled away, and it's going to keep the count at 2-2. Our friend, undrafted player, asked the question, how many foreigners are allowed for each NPB team? So you could have, they basically have 70-man rosters. That includes the farm team for regular type contracts. And on the NPB game sheet, you can have 4 on the game sheet, but you can only play 3 at one time. So I was just taking a look at the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. I think they've got 7 on their roster. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Moving back on it and making the catch is the right fielder Taiga Hirasawa. Tagging at second and advancing over to third is going to be Oda. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Takamasa Chano. Well, here comes the top of the order, and Chano tonight is 0 for 3, and he's got a characteristic he's done all 3 times. He's flown out to left field every single time tonight. So 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Chano. So no balls and 1 strike. So back to that question by undrafted player. So you can put 4 foreigners on the sheet, but you can only use 3 at one time. There's a breaking ball that misses down in it, and the count goes to 1-1. I know for fact that a couple years ago, the Hanshin Tigers had 8 international players under contract, and they were really asking the question, what are we doing with 8? But if you've got like 2 or 3 starting pitchers, and then you have your positional players that you can rotate in and out through, you can make that work. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball that just misses off the inside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Chano. So just as an example, in Europe, they have their own different ones. When I coached in Europe, they had their own different pieces, and one of them is you could have a import shortstop or an import catcher, but you couldn't have 2. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted to straightaway center field, and Wada is going to haul that in for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here. There was no runs in the inning. There were no hits. There were no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. I'll come back and give you that thought in just a couple moments. I'll be right back here in just a few. We appreciate that you guys are listening in here. Your scores, the Marines 5 and the Buffaloes no score. We're holding on here. We probably got about an inning or so left. And then I can tell you this, we got to get some sleep at our end. We'll be right back here in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat for the Marines. The top of the order will be Hirasawa. Then it'll be Fujioka and Nakamura, but we'll be back in about 30 seconds after this little timeout to give you all the action. There is a pitching change anticipated here for the Buffaloes. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is the top of the order that is slated to come to bat for the Marines. And it is looking like we have a reliever on the hill here for the Orix Buffaloes. We have seen enough of their right-hander Urashibara. It is going to be number 22, Muranishi, coming in. A submariner, Ryota Muranishi, now on in relief. He's pitched in 2 ball games. He's got no wins and 1 loss. He's worked 5 1/3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits. He's walked 3, and he has struck out only 1. He's got an ERA of 6.75. Not that impressive, that is for sure. But Ryota Muranishi in here in relief. He'll be the 4th pitcher used on the night by the Buffaloes. So the Buffaloes here trailing 5-0. Marines looking to pad their lead here as the first pitch is on the way to Hirasawa. It's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Hard to tell the difference between a fastball and a changeup, but we like the fact that he works quickly. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Hirasawa. Right-hander ready to go back at it again as he gets the sign from his catcher Ishikawa. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses, I guess, upstairs, because I'm not sure where that one is, but it's now 3-0. Muranishi back to the windup, and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside. It's ball 4. Hirasawa's got himself a walk on 4 straight pitches, and that is going to bring up shortstop Yudai Fujioka. Also brings the shortstop in to pat him on the back. So some words of encouragement for the sidewinding right-hander, Muranishi. So Fujioka steps to the plate tonight. He has been on base a couple of times via the walk. He's officially 0 for 2. He's walked twice. He's got a couple of stolen bases. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Just the way that these pitches run away from the left-handed batters. I think if I am the Marines, I'm thinking the left side right now. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. So here comes the 1-1 offering as the right-hander holds set. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. Racing back is Nakagawa. He's going to make the grab. He's going to fire that one back in, and retreating back to first is going to be Hirasawa. So Fujioka gone for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. Well, for Nakamura tonight, he's got a couple of hits. He's 2 for 4. He's also struck out twice. So Muranishi hoping that the leadoff walk does not come back to bite him. Ready to face Nakamura here. And the first pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to short. They go to second for 1. Back to first. It is going to be offline. That is going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Hirasawa 6-4. Reaching safely at first is Nakamura. He didn't quite have the eyes to get through that hole. And so that will bring up the first baseman, Kenta Chitani. Well, for Chitani tonight, he's officially 0 for 4. The last time he got aboard, he had reached on an error by the third baseman and came around and scored the second run of the seventh inning. As he takes that fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. And wasting little time now is the right-hander Muranishi, and there's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 1-1 strike. Crowd in Chiba is still into it, willing their home side on to victory. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner. Oh, boy, Chitani didn't like the call. I got to tell you there, what we've witnessed earlier, there were some much better pitches, at least in my opinion, to Taiga Hirasawa than that was. So that's 1-2 strikes here to the right-handed hitting Chitani. And there's a fastball that misses outside. The appeal down to third and appeal down to first. They say the first base umpire says he went, and he is going to go in the books as a strikeout. That is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the eighth inning. There was no runs in the inning. There were no hits. There was no errors and one runner left aboard. Your score is the Chiba Lotte Marines 5 and the Orix Buffaloes nothing. Hang around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the ninth inning. In just a few, we appreciate you guys for listening in.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be yet another pitching change for the Chiba Lotte Marines. It's going to be Koshiro Sakamoto coming in relief, as he is going to be called upon to try to save this one or close this one out. It's not really a save situation because the game is not close enough, but it is going to be Sakamoto. So Koshiro Sakamoto entering in for the 13th time this season. Has no wins, no losses. Worked 11 of the third innings. He has given up 12 hits. He has walked 3 and struck out 10. He's got an ERA of 2.38. So Sakamoto, the lefty, on in relief. And he is going to be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters scheduled to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That means Gibbo, Nakagawa, and Mori. So we'll see what Koshiro Sakamoto has to offer here tonight. Three, six, seven. Seventh pitcher here used by the Marines tonight. As he has completed his warm-up tosses and we're ready to go. It looks like it's going to be Frank Schwindel coming to bat here. Schwindel, pinch hitter. He is batting 191. He's got a homer and 11 RBIs. So Schwindel off the bench to hit here for Sho Gibbo. The first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball one, and the count is 1-0. So not in the starting lineup tonight, but Schwindel called upon to hit. And here comes the 1-0. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Schwindel. We are here in the top of the 9th inning. The lefty is ready to go again. Pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-1 on Schwindel. Lefty Sakamoto ready to go again. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball. He blows it right by the American. The count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Lefty Sakamoto ready to go to work. He holds at the belt and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted foul. Is going to reach the seats behind home plate. Schwindel is able to stay alive. So Schwindel, Nakagawa, and Mori scheduled to hit here in the 9th inning. Sakamoto wasting little time. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Schwindel didn't like that one. And that is going to back him off the plate. And Sakamoto, we watched that on the replay, locked him up. That was a good pitch. Schwindel is going to have to head back to the dugout as he's gone for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Kai Nakagawa. Well, for Nakagawa, he is a 2 for 3 tonight. He's got a couple of singles in his 3 trips. He's also struck out. He bats here with 1 gone in the 9th inning. As the lefty works to the set position. Here's the offering. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakagawa. This game here is just over 3 hours in length. There's a fastball. It's taken for a called strike. The count is now 3-2. 3 hours and 10 minutes to be exact. As we said before, it is probably, or at least in my opinion, the game that is one of the tighter games, but is one of the slowest played ones. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Now it remains at 0-2. Again, once this game is done, we will do a wrap-up. And then what we'll do is we'll call it a night. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow for the game between the Buffaloes and the Fighters. Hopefully you can make it in for that one here. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. Moving over on it and having the room is going to be the left fielder. That is Oka, and that is going to retire Nakagawa for the second out of the innings. So they're now down to their final out. Are the Buffaloes. That's going to bring up Tomoya Mori to the plate. And Mori is 0 for 2 with a walk. So the lefty leans in here and he gets his sign from his catcher. Mori here waiting on the offering. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses outside for ball 1. And the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Batting 300 is the left-handed hitting catcher. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul down the left field line, but it looks like it's going to have enough legs to get into the seats in foul territory, and that's going to run the count to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Once again, appreciate everybody who listens in, whether they listen live or on delay. It is a pleasure to be able to have you folks in here all the time. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. It's going to be a base hit. Cutting it off is Wada, and he's going to fire it back in. But it's going to be a single here for Mori. And that will bring up the first baseman, Yomutagu. Just thinking of the players that weren't in the ball game tonight. Sugimoto, Mune, Schwindel, of course, came in to pinch hit. A lot of Buffaloes not in the game tonight. On top of that, Oshiro as well. So here comes the first offering to Yumatangu as Sakamoto delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. No balls and one strike. Tangu grounded into a double play his last time up. He struck out and grounded to short. So 0 for 3 in this one for him. Sakamoto delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And now the Buffaloes are going to be down to their final strike. So no balls and 2 strikes to Tangu. See, this would be a perfect situation for a changeup right here. Pull the string on him and maybe get him out in front. You don't see a lot of pitchers with changeups here in the NPB. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll wrap this one up here in just a few moments. If this game does come to an end as we anticipate, as the 1-2 is ready to go. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-2. As we said, we'll also take you for a tour around the out-of-town scoreboard, as a lot of the games are nearing or coming to a final phase here. Other games are in the bottom of the ninth inning as well. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats or on the first base side, and it's going to keep the count at 2-2. This win tonight, or if the Marines can close it off, we don't want to jump to conclusions as they're down to their final strength, the Buffaloes. They will take sole possession of first place in the Pacific League. And then they've got themselves a matchup coming up. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. As we said, it's going to be the Buffaloes and the Fighters. We're going to call that one for you over the next little bit. It will be the Marines and the Eagles, and they will be in Tohoku. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined in the left field. It's going to get down on one hop. It is fielded by the left fielder. And that is Oka, who took it on the hop. It's going to be a single for Tangu. That's going to put runners at first and second. That's going to bring up Marwin Gonzalez to the plate. Well, Gonzalez comes to the plate. We have ourselves a little timeout here. And ironically, what do you know? We would have lost the feed a little bit, but now it's back on. We've got Gonzalez at the plate. He's batting from the right side here. Switch hitter. Sakamoto is ready to go back to work. Here comes the first offering, and it is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Gonzalez. The runner at second, Mori. The runner at first is Tangu. As the lefty Sakamoto leans in and he gets his sign from his catcher. here comes the 0-1 offering. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And now they're down to their final strike yet again. This would be, I guess, we could call it second match point if we were doing tennis. So no balls and 2 strikes to Marwin Gonzalez. Marines looking to have sole possession of first place. As we're ready to go again here. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, and it is grounded foul just past the bag at third base. It's going to keep the count at 0-2. Tomorrow will be Taisuke Yamaoka and Takayuki Kato. Be the pitching matchup between the Buffaloes and the Fighters. We will be calling that one. But again, it'll be a late night first pitch. So here comes the 0-2 offering as the lefty works to the set position. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2 on Gonzalez. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Steve Rademacher in the house. He made it in. This one here is coming to a finish here shortly enough, Steve. We're glad you could make it in here to listen to the end of the game. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marwin Gonzalez. The runner at second is Mori. The runner at first is Tongu. Sakamoto leans in and he gets the sign from his catcher. And here comes the 1-2 offering. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to get a run in from second base as Maury has come around to score, and they have broken the ice. Actually, it looks like they pinch ran for Maury, so we may have a different number there. So that is going to put runners at first and second. Gonzalez gets himself an RBI, his second hit of the night. And now they've cut the lead to 5-1, and that looks like it's going to be it as the Marines are going to come out and make yet another pitching change. So this game is not done yet, as it is now going to be a 5-1 ball game. The manager has seen enough of Sakamoto. Sakamoto didn't even talk to the manager on his way. It was actually the manager who's come out to make the change this time. Normally it's the pitching coach. So the Marines have come up to give Sakamoto a round of applause or a pat on the back as he storms off the field and goes right down the tunnel. Well, we're going to get a relief pitcher here, so hang tight, everybody. This game's not done yet. 5-1 is the score. There's runners at first and second, and it's going to be Kataro Kobayashi scheduled to come to bat. Hang tight. We'll be right back in a few.
Hey, guys. While the manager's searching for a relief pitcher, let me help you with some relief channels. On top of mine and Freddy's, you can always check out Redbeard Breaks, Zero Fox Sports. You know another Hollis build, check them out again. Maybe Beast and Beauty Breaks, or even Dab's Family. Oh, looks like they have their pitcher, so after the game, check out some other videos by Freddy. They're fun, they're cool. Enjoy the game, peace out, and cheers!
Welcome back, everybody. It is another pitching change here for the Marines. It is going to be Naoya Masuda coming into the game. And he is the closer for the Marines, and I'm sure they probably didn't want to go this route. Sakamoto retired the first 2 batters he faced in the 9th inning, and then it's been back-to-back singles by Mori, Tongu, and Gonzalez. They've now cut the lead to 5-1, and it's going to scheduled to bring the bat Kataro Kobayashi to the plate. while Masuda has to come in and try to close this one out. 17 appearances for Masuda so far this year, 16 and a third innings. He's allowed 13 hits, 3 walks. He struck out 11, and he's got an ERA of 1.10. He does have 12 saves. So he is going to have to try to get this one done here, as Sakamoto was not able to finish it. So Masuda is going to get his opportunity. For his career, he's got 194 career saves in the NPB. Does this right-hander. I was thinking about the saves the other day in Major League Baseball when Kenley Jansen, about a week or so ago, crossed the 400 save barrier. Thinking about what an accomplishment that was. So here we go. Back to the live action. Kobayashi steps in as Masuda's ready to go to work. As there's 2 gone here in the top of the 9th inning. And the first pitch is a fastball that Kobayashi checks his swing and fouls away. And the count is quickly 0-1. Kobayashi 0 for 3 tonight. He has flown out to right field twice and struck out looking in his 3 trips. They've got to find themselves some instant offense here as they find themselves down 5-1. Buffaloes have already put one on the board here in the 9th inning, and they're looking for more. Runner at second, Tongu. Runner at first, Gonzalez. Here comes the 0-1 to Kobayashi. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. That's going to run the count now to no balls and 2 strikes. So Masuda coming in looking to put this game away. So no balls and 2 strikes. Masuda reaching for the rosin bag, and he's ready to try to finish this one off. As he looks in, he gets the sign from his catcher, and he works to the set. Checks the runner at second, and here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marines are up, wanting to see if they can get this one closed off. Buffaloes are trying to stay alive here. They've cut the lead to 4. Looking like a fantastic finish in this one, depending upon who you are cheering for. Here's the pitch. Let's see. Fastball swung on it, is lifted into straightaway center field, moving over underneath it and making the grab is Wada. And that is going to do it here. Well, they made it interesting, did the Buffaloes. They scored a run in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your final score, it is the Chiba Lotte Marines 5 and the Orix Buffaloes 1. Stick around, everybody. We're going to wrap this baby up in just a few, and then we'll call it a night, and we'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard as well. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the wrap-up here as the final score in this one was 5-1 for the Marines. Run down on the scoring. In the third inning, the Marines got a leadoff walk by Yudai Fujioka. He later stole second. After a couple of strikeouts, Hisanori Yasuda stepped up and knocked home Fujioka with the first run of the ball game, and that was 1-0 for the Marines. They added to their tally in the sixth inning. With 2 outs, it was a 2-out double by Tetsuhiro Tamura, and an RBI single by Hiromi Oka made the score 2-0. In the seventh inning, that's where the Marines basically put it away. It was a leadoff walk issued to Yudai Fujioka. After Nakamura struck out, it was an error by the third baseman that allowed Kenta Chitani to reach. And then another walk by Yasuda. And then Gregory Polanco popped out to first, but it was a bases-loaded walk issued to Wada that scored the next run. And up stepped Tetsuhiro Tamura, who was the hero the time before. Well, he hit a 2-run single that scored another couple of runs, and that gave the Marines a 5-0 lead. Buffaloes made it respectable in the ninth. With 2 out, they had a single by Mori, followed by a single by Tongu and a single by Gonzalez. Gonzalez ultimately knocked in Mori, the first and only run of the game for the Buffaloes, and your final score was 5-1. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, a final from the Jinju Stadium, it was 6-3 for the Giants over the Swallows. That game is in the books. The top of the ninth inning, the Bay Stars are holding on to a 13-3 lead over the Carp. The final score between the Tigers and the Dragons was 4-1 at the Vantolin Dome. And then earlier on this evening, it was a 6-2 victory for the Fighters over the Lions. And those are your scores from around the NPB. Our friend God is Great. We appreciate you for being here. We also appreciate CV Baseball Card Collector and Undrafted Player, all the rest who listened in. But guys, I got to tell you this. I got to get some sleep. We appreciate everybody for being here. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night, same time, same place. Hopefully you can join us and make it in. We'll see you when we do on the flip side. Have a great night, everybody.